I hope you understand. Baby, drop them jewels and turn them lights down low. Put some music on your something soul. Oh man, I hate the one, bro. Hate him. Got me singing that ass clad bomba clad bullshit. Okay, who's gonna be the first person here today? I predict it'll be Shinigami Kai or Karibo. Shinigami Kai or Karibo. It might be Valkyria though. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. Amazing, fascinating. Or it might be me. I might be the first person in this bitch. Oh no, we got 2 people watching already. That's kind of crazy. Who's in here this early in the morning? It might be. Okay, we got Michael in the chat. What's good, Mike? And we got B-Zook. Alright, B-Zook. I don't know if I've ever seen you in here, B-Zook. So, I will give you a nickname, B-Zook. You will be B-Zook like bazooka, except you'll be B-Zooka. I like that. B-Zooka. How you guys doing today? He said it's too early for this. Hey man, we gotta get it out there, bro. We gotta get it out there. This is gonna be probably gonna be like a 3-part series because this is 4 hours long. I gotta leave around 11, so that's about 2.5 hours for me. So we're just going to not jump right into it. I don't mind, chatting for a little bit. Oh, we do got Karibo in the chat. What's good, Karibo? Shinigami said, wait, this early? Yes, sir. We on it. You already know. Decent morning so far. That's good to hear. What y'all got planned for today? Are we hitting the gym? Are we grabbing breakfast with our significant others? What are we doing this morning? What time is it for you right now? It is 9:14 a.m. for me right now. And me and my wife, I'm still stuck in the fiance mindset because it's still almost unreal that we're married, right? But me and my wife are gonna go look at apartments in about 2.5 hours. So I got a little bit of time. Just wanted to kick this off. Just wanted to, make it known we will be doing a review, analysis, breakdown of Itachi versus Pain, Noodles versus Swagkage. I don't think I've watched this in about. Well, actually, no. How long is this? 2 years old? I don't think I've watched this since it aired. So most of it, I have no memory or recollection of. But I just want to see how they engage each other in arguments. Plus, I love me some Naruto or Naruto crime. You dig? Shout out to the Satan Center. All right. While I have something for myself as I draw, that's what's up. From now on, we all Christen him as bees. Oh, we all Christian him as bees. I don't mind bees. Hold up. Beezuka. Bees. I don't mind bees. I like bees. Hey, Beezuka, how you feel about bees? Wait. You was Android 17? Oh, my God. I got to start writing some of this shit down. Hold up. Are you... I'm not going to say, are you sure you were Android 17? But I don't know where I would get Android 17 from Beezuka. Now, if it was just the fact that I saw 17 and said, oh, well, 17, he must be Android 17. That's something. All right, hey, Beezook, can I get you to, get a unique character profile or character avatar? Because that's 9 times out of 10, that's how I really be telling people apart. The names is cool. Unless you got a really, really hard, memorable name like John the Maven or Chaos Edge, Spirit of the Wrath, I need some more qualifiers or identifiers to know exactly who we are. We got Illusion in the building. What's good, Illusion? Man, I need my coffee first. That's facts, bro. That's facts. All right, we're gonna take it slow. All right, we're gonna take it slow, and then Gonna do a Muay Thai class later this morning. Hey, Michael, you my guy, bro. So hold up, you do Muay Thai. How long have you been doing Muay Thai? Just so you know, for me, I took Taekwondo for about 4 years, I believe, 11, 12. Yeah, I think I took Taekwondo for about 4 years. The school got shut down. Me and my twin brother made it to green belts, but in actual skill level, we were more of the purple/red belts. So that gave us the opportunity to be like assistant leaders within the class. And so Taekwondo really gave me a really good foundation for kicks and stuff like that, side kicks, front kicks, spinning roundhouse, all that stuff. So I love me some Taekwondo. Muay Thai is interesting. Muay Thai, y'all be doing them shin kicks, bro. And as good as my feet are, my shins are not that strong. So I've always been like, as far as that for Muay Thai, don't get me wrong, I would do it, but it would definitely take some getting used to, definitely take some breaking in of my skin to get my shins that strong. That's crazy. Aside from that, I'm always studying combinations as far as boxing, footwork as far as boxing, defensive moves from Wing Chun. I like Wing Chun. Wing Chun is smooth, man. Wing Chun is smooth. And it's not just because of the Ip Man thing either. No, that shit is fire. Like the actual defenses, the actual motions, the actual moves, the actual like coordination they have is very, very cool. So shout out to you for doing Muay Thai. Most people don't do combat sports. Most people do not do combat sports, but I'm like, why wouldn't you want to do combat sports, right? At the very least, if not to compete, of just to, protect yourself. Know that if a situation arises and you caught by yourself and you don't have anything on you, you got these hands, you got these fists, you got a 2-piece combo. Like, what are we talking about, right? So no, shout out to you, bro. It's 15:15 right now for me. Okay, I do not use military time. I don't know what 15:15 is, Shinigami. Hey, Ab-Stract, got some questions about Itachi's intelligence and how it's written. Need your thoughts. Before we get started, what do you believe? Who do you believe wins, Kakuzu or Pain? Ooh. Well, no. So this is going to be Itachi versus Pain, not Kakuzu versus Pain. This is going to be Itachi versus Pain, but I would, of course, have Pain beating the dog shit out of Kakuzu. That's just me, though. I would have Pain beating Kakuzu. When we get in, so I don't mind talking about Pain versus Kakuzu since it isn't the debate topic. When we get into Kakuzu versus Pain, we have to understand that one person that fought both of these guys was Kakashi. Kakashi didn't show inferior taijutsu stats or anything to either one of them. If we're being real, could you say, at least the anime has it making it look like Kakuzu's dominating slightly, but he's not overwhelmingly superior to Kakashi. Maybe in ninjutsu output and total like ninjutsu arsenal, but as far as like stats and stuff, no, he's not superior in any way. What Kakuzu's going to struggle with against Pain is the fact that he will not be able to mount any fast enough attacks to take down all 6 paths at once. That's what he's going to really struggle with, right? Tendo is going to be a problem outright. We already know that. The summoning Pain for like the monsters and the creatures and shit. What do we got? We have a flying bird that he can just stay on and spam. He has an invisible chameleon to where he can just hide and spam. He has the immortal dog, Cerberus, right? Keeps popping up. He can just do that. He has the panda thing. That's a defensive jutsu. What else does he have? He has the rhino thing. He has the crab thing. He has the centipede. So Kakuzu's going to be outnumbered greatly. All those things have Rinnegan eyes. All those things will be able to track and see where he is, what he's doing at all times. Kakuzu's best thing in his arsenal, in my opinion, is going to be that diamond morph for the most part. That's what's going to allow him to survive a lot of Pain's things. But that only works up until he gets hit with the human path and has his soul stolen or something like that. His wide range AoE ninjutsu, depending on what path he's trying to attack, that'll be absorbed by the absorption path Pain. I don't think Kakuzu has the speed to blitz a Pain if Sage Mode Jiraiya could also not blitz a Pain, but then you're going to be like, oh, well, okay. Can you prove Kakuzu is as fast as Sage Mode Jiraiya? I think we can all understand that Sage Mode Jiraiya is, if not faster than Kakuzu, at least as fast as Kakuzu. I think we can all agree on that. So he's not mounting in any offensive on any Pain that Pain won't be able to react to or respond to in kind. Yeah. We have telekinesis. We have Shirado. low-level missile explosions. Don't get me wrong. They're low-level, but they're strong for Naruto. Like, those missiles should be able to one-shot his mask if he separates from them. That's all. That also wouldn't be a good idea for Kakuzu, because if the masks separate, we've seen them get destroyed by 10-10. Oh, well, Kakuzu was nerfed. I mean, was he, though? Was he really, though? We've seen those masks get destroyed by 10-10. The masks aren't that strong. Kakuzu's best option would to actually just keep all of his mask inside him, so that can boost his overall chakra power, that can boost his offensive capabilities. He has the wind and the fire on his shoulder. That's his best option, right? Because if he lets his mask go off running wild, they're going to get attacked by the dogs, attacked by the summonings, attacked by the other passive pain. It would not be a good move for Kakuzu to fight pain, in my opinion. We might have to watch that one, because I have no idea what the actual argument is for Kakuzu. Don't get me wrong. I understand you could probably finesse together a scaling chain that doesn't make sense, because Naruto scaling doesn't make sense. I'm pretty sure you could do it. It's not hard. But when we're actually analyzing the abilities, who they fought, what their outputs are, and other things, I just have to give it to Pain. Gotta give it to Pain unanimously. Yeah. Before, I'm wondering if you think Itachi's intelligence is carried by plot. I mean, I think you could argue all intelligence is carried by plot. I think you can make the argument. But no, I don't think it's carried by plot. No. I mean, the plot demands Itachi fulfill his objectives. Now, are we arguing? Must he fulfill it in an intellectual way, or a way that showcases his intelligence? Is that what we're arguing? Or are we saying, well, here's the route Itachi could take, but we're going to make it so he's the smartest guy ever? Are we saying that versus it can just get done? Because I mean, I feel like you can kind of say that for anybody. I.e., they say he did things to hype up his intelligence, but don't think about the consequences. Who said he did things to hype up his intelligence? I don't know who they is. I always go for his counter against Obito to meet Sasuke. I think if it was writing Itachi, considering everything, Obito would have never touched the Sasuke. I always go for his counter against Obito to meet Sasuke. Okay, so you go for his counter, which was Amaterasu, against Obito to meet Sasuke. I think if it was writing Itachi, considering everything, Obito would have never even touched Sasuke. I don't know. I mean, why not? Why not? Are you saying he couldn't come within a certain radius of him? Physically touch him, or like make contact with him? Like, what do you mean by that exactly? Been doing it once or twice a week since 2023. Really fun cardio. Ain't no noise like the impact of a pad work. Yeah, screw sparring. They're making me look foolish. Hey, no, bro, you gotta get that sparring work. Michael, I'm trying to tell you. Listen, if you've never sparred, don't be afraid of it. Just understand that this will give you the most real life scenario for what could happen. And you want to, like, the thing is this. You don't want to, like, at least for me, I don't look at sparring as, oh, I have to win this thing. No. What sparring is for me is getting my mindset in the frame of not being afraid of combat, number one, but also knowing when to actually lock in. Like, okay, cool, hold up. If something's happening, you're not going to be all frigidly scared and flight or flight. No, you've been here. You already know. Your mind's just going to kick in, put up those hands, take whatever stance you take, and now you're locked in. Your mind goes to the place of sparring. Your mind should go to the place of sparring when an actual fight occurs, and then all those muscle memories and all those things that you actually practice can be put to use. Do not look at sparring as scary. Don't look at that as getting hurt. If you need someone to spar lightly with, you just got to make that known. Hey, we're doing soft touches. I just want to get myself in the mainframe. I just want to be able to dodge some hits. I just want to be able to throw some kicks and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I definitely encourage sparring, bro. I also do more Thai, but I lean more for kickboxing and Krav Maga. Krav Maga. Nice. 3:19 p.m. Damn, that's late. Kakuzu versus Scrooge McDuck. Who you got? I don't know Scrooge McDuck. Who is that, bro? Norito's Hiedo versus Kakuzu's Diamond Morph. Kakuzu's Diamond Morph, at least within the series, I don't think we've ever seen it overcome. Of course, that doesn't mean it's invincible or anything. I just, we've never seen it overcame. Noito's Hiedo would just have higher scaling, bro. So I'd have to go with that one. Kakuzu's Diamond Morph just hasn't survived anything of actual note when it comes to AP. What has he survived? He survived Choji's Human Boulder. He maybe survived the Biju Bomb. I don't remember, but Biju Bombs, We got Grid in the chat. What's good, Grid? How you doing, bro? Make contact with Obito. Okay, make contact with Obito. So, like, why don't you believe he should be able to make contact with Obito, though? The whole plot wouldn't have happened. But, like, why? Like, I'm not hearing why, though, because you got to understand, both of them were out of chakra. Both of them had just, well, Itachi died, so Sasuke was out of chakra. Had no one to move him. He was completely worn out. Obito has instant teleportation via Kamui. He can, not instant, but Obito can teleport where he wants to using Kamui. If Sasuke's knocked out, what's stopping Obito from making contact exactly? Made the attempt to spar once. The instructor thought it was too early for me, given how closed up / defensive I was, and set me aside just to observe. It was humiliating. Oof. Okay. All right. So, did he put you with, like, another inexperienced Muay Thai person, a person of intermediate level, or, like, an expert, bro? Because there's nothing... See, here's the thing. If I were... Like, I've been thinking about this, too. I've really been considering this. I've been considering creating my own fighting style. And I would have that fighting style centered around defense. I really would. Because when you look at most fights, and I'm using generalizations here, when you look at most fights, most people are out of shape. Most people give into their vices, i.e. smoking, drinking, or doing something that isn't in line with, taking care of your body to the best, to the best of your abilities, right? Most people do not have the capacity to last a 2-minute actual fight, right? So unless you're running up against a seasoned fighter, you should be training to specialize in defense, in my opinion, Michael. I don't think that's a bad thing. I do not think that's a bad thing, bro. That's not saying don't ever throw a punch, no. But knowing that most people smoke, most people drink, most people eat unhealthy, most people don't exercise as much as me, most people aren't as flexible. So, like, if they do a fast or sudden movement, their joints are going to be under more pressure and stress than me, who is always doing leg kicks and always doing capoeira and stuff like that. Most people aren't doing these things. So if I'm coming against a stronger person, like a bigger and stronger person, I'm not even going to register that I have to knock this person out. No. I'm going to register that, okay, cool, he has size on me and he has muscle mass on me. We have to determine how fast he throws a punch, because my joints, they look better in person, but you get what I'm saying. In an actual fight, I don't know how many, I would argue most people aren't determining how fast they can throw a punch. Most people aren't calculating this type of stuff. So if I know you're bigger than me, you have size on me, and you have like a little muscle mass or weight on me, but your punches are slower, that tells me that you don't practice throwing punches. That also tells me that your punches actually, despite your muscles, might not even hurt that much because you don't know how to throw a good punch. So if I can outlast this individual while taking the least amount of damage or the least amount of hits, because I don't like getting hit. That's one thing. I do not like getting hit. I've been hit. Me and my twin brother spot, I've been hit. I don't like getting hit. So I make it my mission to not get touched. We shoulder rolling, right? We Philly shelling up. Then if you're like a rush type person, I get here. I get low. Why do I get low? Why? Well, number one, I have longer arms, right? I have longer arms, so I can't go here, right? This would be more for like if I was like on a boxing thing. But here, it gives me, I gotta show you now. No, I gotta show you now. Now, Michael, you getting me activated, bro. You getting me activated. Hold up. I got you. All right. So let's say you're in front of me, right? Let's say you are 6 feet and you're like a whole size bigger than me, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Sizing him up. He kind of big. We gonna draw this one out. So I get right here. Why do I get right here? Number one, my arms are longer, and I have my chest is less exposed because I'm to the side, but I also have my arms up, right? Now, the principle behind this right here, it comes from Wing Chun, right? So if he throws a straight, we do an elbow. If he throws a hook, we do an elbow down, right? And so if you master this movement, if you master this, it creates a pretty solid defense. And I've used it in actual sparring. It's yielded me good results. Now, the only thing about that stuff is it could actually break people's knuckles. So I only use it in an actual real fight. I don't really rely on it during sparring because it can actually break people's knuckles depending on at the force you're deflecting those attacks with. But yeah, no, man. All defensive type style that uses people's energy against them, for lack of a better words. Okay. For all we could know, Itachi made a preemptive seal for Amaterasu and had years to think about it. I mean, maybe that's true. I don't see. It wouldn't stop them making contact though, because Sasuke was unconscious. I don't think it's unrealistic for Itachi to think. Oh, for Itachi to think it, he would be an idiot if he didn't. But it feels underwhelming for what his skill set is. What's good, Karma? I just showed up and I don't know what I just saw. So me and Michael are talking about combat sports, and I was basically demonstrating to him how if I'm thinking about making an actual fighting technique or fighting style directly based off of all the things that I would incorporate and I would know. And I was telling him it would be a more defensive style and focus on drawing out the fight, because most people are unhealthy. They smoke, they drink, they don't eat well, they can't touch their toes. Most people aren't in condition to fight. So if you ever get into a fight, you should work under the presumption that they're not on your level physically, unless they look like they are, right? But just work under that assumption that they won't be able to outlast. That doesn't mean like underestimate them. I'm saying, hey, the goal should be to survive the onslaught, survive the, I'm not saying don't throw a punch, but, defense would be first. But yeah. Oh yeah, you missed things I pointed out. I might have missed things you pointed out. Yes, that's true. You know what? You can tell me in DMs if you want to, Michael. I mean, Shinigami. But okay, let's start cooking. We got 4 hours. This is 9, 10, 11. I got 2 hours and a half. Yeah. Oh yeah, let me see real quickly. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna start this real quick. And you'd feel like heaven to touch me. And I don't want to lose you right now. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. But I don't wanna save you right now. Learn how to. Oh, okay. I might actually have to do that. Cool. All right, let's get to it, y'all. Where is... Okay, Noodle versus Pretty Boy Swagkage. Mr. Noodle! As a long-time runner who eventually got into boxing, yeah, it helps if you can fight for a while. There you go. That's all I'm saying. Factor in the fact that most people are unhealthy. Factor in the fact that most people don't practice combat sports. Factor in the fact that most people think being strong is enough. No. knowing how to throw a punch is better than being strong. Because if I know how to lock my wrist and I know where exactly I'm hitting and how I'm doing it, bro, you'll break down faster than me. Your punches will be slower than mine, for sure. Okay. Itachi versus Pain, Noodles versus the Swagger. Hold up. Where is... All right. Okay. Let's get it.
Being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want.
Fire, his arm is already in center.
Imagine being able to
Okay. Another ad. That's crazy.
Just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
All right, I'm gonna start the stream in 3, 2, 1.
How's the volume, guys? How's the volume?
All right, tweet is posted.
Also, by the way, bro, you said nah, I'd win. When somebody asked you, you know what happened?
How's the volume, guys?
To the guy who said that, right?
Yeah, I know. I just thought it was funny.
Pretty funny.
What's up, chat? What's going on, boys? We're later, 3 years in the making. Hold on, I gotta fix
Screw
my
ads. Yeah, facts.
chat. There we go. There we go.
Volume's good. Volume is good. Nice.
Yo! What's up, boys?
All
All
right.
right, I tweeted about it.
Gonna tweet as well.
I'm going crazy right now. Hold on. Yo, what's up,
Corey is
chat?
also about to tweet.
Let's go! Let's go!
So, real quick, what I'll be doing with this is I'll be assessing, in my opinion, who has the stronger argument, who's using rhetoric better, depending on who's arguing what, how I would handle the argument, because I won't insert myself in every point, but depending on, if I like find something interesting, I'll be like, oh, well, this is what I would have probably said to something like this, you know what I mean? So, stronger argumentation, stronger use of rhetoric, abstract insertions. And you know what? I also want to verify some of these things live. Like if a claim is made, let's go, unless they're doing it here, let's actually do the research live and see how true it is. Let's test the veracity of what's actually being said. So yeah.
We're here, Swag. For all those who are just joining, I'm debating Swagkage. You here, man?
No.
No, he's not here. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind, boys. So as you guys can see, I'm looking pretty crazy right now. This is the first live. This is probably the craziest face reveal live stream you've ever seen in your life. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm suited up to go. We're going to be debating Itachi versus Pain. I'm going to be using Sick Itachi from the start of Shippuden, and Swagkage is going to be taking the 6 pads of Pain. Anything else you want to say before we start the debate?
What is your win condition that he defeats the Pains?
Yeah. That's what I would assume it is.
Okay.
That good with you?
Yeah.
Presumably if he defeats the Pains, right? Like he'll just end up having to fight in Nagato somewhere else and do the same thing he did to the Pains. Just, you know, I mean,
Well, Nagato is the 7th.
Volume's good. Maybe it should be a little louder.
I figure.
Think I can do that. All right, let me know how this one is. Let me know how this one is. I'm gonna turn this one on and mute this one. Let me know how this one is.
By the time he gets done fighting, and like if he loses all of his Pains, he's probably gonna be pretty weak. But regardless, yeah, just defeating the 6 pads of Pain. Is that cool with you?
Nagato 2.
Nagato too.
He's the 7th Pain. He's the 7th.
How's that, Karma?
All right, fine. We can do Nagato. Sir.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so so last time I got a lot of criticism for not letting you argue your point. So
yeah,
I'll give you the opportunity.
Hopefully this time I actually get to talk about Pain's feats. But I believe that it should actually happen this time.
Not bad.
I
Yeah.
think I'm cool with letting you open though.
Got you.
Since this is
Okay, you want me to open?
Let me see.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
I'll make sure to get your points in after this, though. I'll let you get counters and give you the ability to scale. I don't actually have to leave for work this time, so I'll be here all debate. Yeah, I guess the first thing I'll start off with
Gotcha, no
is I think that Itachi's Amaterasu would definitely be effective against the Pads of Pain, and I think it would kill multiple of them or just all of them outright.
Okay, so when you say effective, what do you mean?
I think it would incinerate them completely.
Okay, so walk me through your thought process here.
Okay.
Because so like we're talking strictly AP now, right? Like its ability to like damage them.
Hold on, let me call my butler over. Giovanni, I need you to bring me the scan that the Amaterasu is the strongest.
So hold up.
Your scans,
Yeah,
Your
bring
scans,
here, come here, Giovanni. Come here. Here, make sure you get in here. Get in here. Come here. Here, move the mic. Come here. Here, bend down so they can see you real quick. This is my butler, Giovanni. All right, here. You got the scan? Yes. All right, bring me this. Strongest physical attack scan. All right.
Here's your scan.
So, right here, if you guys can read this, it says that. Here, I'll read it to you.
Yeah, can you also put
this
it
is-
in the scans chat?
I will. I have it saved that way too. But I'm just gonna show the chat real quick what it says. This is Black Zetsu like monologuing to himself while he's watching the Itachi versus Heavy Sasuke fight, and this is what he says: continuing to use Genjutsu will lead nowhere. From the moment Sasuke broke through the Tsukiyomi, Genjutsu battle became pointless, which means it's going to be a direct ninjutsu slugfest from here on out. If the left eye's Mangekyo possesses the most powerful Genjutsu, the right eye's Mangekyo possesses the most powerful physical attack. The Amaterasu produces a black flame that are said to never extinguish until they've burned the target to ash or whatever the caster has in his eyesight. So, now I'll post that for you, Swag. There it is, right there, chat.
Disagree with the categorization of.
Okay, cool. So we got the claim. Amaterasu would incinerate all the pains. Swagkage correctly introduces the question of AP. How potent is that? Because if you're debating Ab-Stract and you make a claim like that, we're going to go through every use case of that jutsu and determine the veracity of the claim. Right? Cool. So, strongest in what way, and are we talking about the most physical, like the strongest physical attack in the series? Or is this the strongest physical attack that Itachi has? Which one would we be talking about? Which one would actually make more sense? Is Kodo Matsukami stronger than Tsukiyomi? Right? Because if we're talking about the strongest Genjutsu versus the strongest physical attack, is this in general or is this person to person? And then how reliable of a narrator is Zetsu to say this is the strongest physical attack of any jutsu? Like, where would he get that information from? I don't think Zetsu's seen every jutsu. In my opinion, well, no, not even in my opinion, Chidori has a much higher potency than Amaterasu. Don't know what would make Amaterasu the strongest physical attack. So we would probably go back and forth on that for a while. But yeah, those are the notes so far. Amaterasu would incinerate all the pains, okay, based on what AP and based on what showings are we talking about. It's questionable. Strongest in what? Strongest in what exactly? Strongest in what way? And then most powerful physical attack for who? Itachi exclusively? The verse? Other Uchiha? What are we like? Eye-based abilities? What are we talking about?
The most powerful physical attack because shit like, truth-seeking orbs exist.
There you
but
go.
I would agree with its ability to do damage to the pains completely uninterrupted.
So, you agree that if it catches the pains on fire, it's going to incinerate them then?
Yeah, I could probably grant that. Yeah.
Okay.
But
All right. So Swagkage, let me write this down. Swagkage yields that Amaterasu would incinerate all the pains if hit. Okay, so what would Ab-Stract have done in this moment? Ab-Stract's going to make you stand on that claim. Ab-Stract's going to bring up every example Amaterasu was used and its efficacy. That's what we would have to look at. In fact, him calling this the strongest physical attack would even be in question because I mentioned things like Chidori. We have things like the Rasen Shuriken. We have things like TSOs. So we can break down the foundation of that claim by the existence of other jutsu that exists. By the existence. Let me calm down, bro, because I'm acting like I'm about to debate this nigga. Let me calm down. We can argue that by simply taking other jutsu that actually exist and have much higher showings than Amaterasu. Amaterasu has several anti-feats. This would call its potency into question. Now, I know the age-old argument, oh, well, it wasn't focusing on those things. That's not going to work here. Nowhere in the series is that Nowhere in the series is that stated, number one, that the user has to focus on the thing they want to burn for that specific thing to burn as hot as however it needs. It's never stated. You'll never find anything like it. So that's number one. Number two. Number two would be if we take the instances we've seen when Eight Tails gets hit with Amaterasu, you would have to say, even if we're taking that logic where I just said, oh, well, it has to focus on the thing. Even if we're taking that logic, he was focusing on B. So he wanted to burn B, absolutely. And then that same fire gets on Karin. So it should still be as hot as it was when it was burning B. Sasuke cannot just mentally change the degree of fire. No, he would have to manipulate it with his eye. He didn't do that until he put it out. So Amaterasu's incineration rate, and then hold up, we have another fact. Edo Nagato gets hit with Amaterasu. He's not incinerated. He's not burned to enough of the degree to say, oh, yes, it would completely incinerate all the pains in a timely manner. No, that's not happening. I wouldn't yield or concede to that. We would have to look at that. Mind you, that was Nagato before he even absorbed any chakra. He was skin and bones at that point, and he couldn't even heal due to the Amaterasu on his body. So this is a very weird point for Swagkage to concede. But I understand it. And you know what? They're both using data books. So that makes it a little trickier for me to judge because y'all already know over here, we're wanting to question first if what the data book is saying comports with the manga. Secondly, does it even follow the scaling, right? Those are the two things we'd have to ask. But the Amaterasu point is an interesting one to yield to. But Swagkage yields that Amaterasu would incinerate all the pains if hit. This is what he said. Oh, hold up. We got John the Maven in the building. What's good, John? I made a long-ass video on this topic. I'd love to hear your thoughts and to discuss this. What a mess this whole debate was. Let me ask you this, John. By this topic, do you mean this video reaction, Swagkage versus Noodles, or do you mean Itachi versus Pain? And if you have a video, bro, I would love to see it. Absolutely. If I have content creator subscribers, bro, show me your content. Please. I would love nothing more than to review your guys' content as well. Y'all think I want to review, no disrespect, y'all think I want to review Noodles, Swagkage, and Sage Six Calves, and King of Lightning for free and not invest back into the people that show me love? Y'all think I want to do that? No, come on. So yeah, if you're a content creator, bro, please don't hesitate to share your stuff with me. Don't hesitate to ask my opinion on anything, bro. Please. Yeah. If Truth Seeker Orbs count as a physical attack, that debunks that pretty quickly. There you go. Truth Seeker Orbs. Chidori has a higher piercing power. Like what would he actually be arguing for Amaterasu's AP? It doesn't have good showings. It's a burning effect, so it's fire. Yes, it's eventually going to destroy something, but it's not going to do it more efficiently than things like the Chidori, the Rasengan. Even Mei's Lava style, I would argue, has higher AP if someone actually got hit by it. So no. Yeah, Noodles just taking strongest literally with no validation. He loves just taking statements out of context with no substantiation. It states verbatim is his core argument. Right. Swagkage makes a serious mistake by granting this. I agree. Amaterasu takes time to burn. Shinra Tensei pushes it away. Pray to Path absorbs it easily. Swag brings some of this stuff up later. Okay, he brings it up later. Okay, cool. Don't calm down. Get riled up. Yo, John. Amaterasu's burn time varies. So if we're going to argue its burn time varies, then that means it's not concrete, which means we can argue it's going to take as long as possible or as fast as possible. The fact that it's not definite is an issue, though, because when you're arguing with Ab-Stract and I say, well, Chidori is much more effective, I'm going to say Chidori one-shots every goddamn thing it hits, aside from people that have a higher defensive jutsu than it. And that's on panel, that's on facts. Who is Chidori pierced? Naruto. Who is Chidori pierced? Haku. Who is Chidori pierced? Zabuza. Who is Chidori pierced? Kakuzu. Do we want to continue? Do we want to continue? No, we don't want to continue, right? Chidori has a very high success rate. I would argue it's a higher potency jutsu than Amaterasu. Amaterasu has anti-feats. You could say, oh, it has scaling, but no, the anti-feats kind of make it bad to use. Wouldn't do that. Really wouldn't do that. Can I share with you some stuff on how I think Itachi's intelligence is written? And on top of that, share examples of other characters. Doing good. Not as self-beating and going to draw soon. Nice, yes. We got grid. Yes. I don't disagree with that, but why does it vary like that? There you go. Edo Nagato was missing chunks. Karibo, I can pull up the panel. He was not missing. Like, when you say chunks, maybe we envision chunks differently, so I won't say you're wrong or lying or anything like that. I don't think it is as... I don't think it's to the level that you're making it out to be, though, either. I do not think it's to the level that you're making it out to be. It's killed Danzo once. It did not kill Danzo. Danzo Izanagi'd out of it. I don't know why you always do this. What's good, Ab-Stract? You screaming this early? Hey, yo, Pack, we on it, bro. We on it, bro. Yes, yeah, we are screaming this early. What's up? Yeah, we in here. We out here. Oh, yeah. Cause I don't have time, y'all, so I gotta make time. I don't have time for y'all, so I gotta make time. Let's go. How you doing, Pack? If statements, manga, anime, or data books don't have anti-feats or contradiction statements, I think it's fine. So the problem with if statements aren't contradicted and are for a fact therefore true, the problem with that is you would always be taking the highest interpretation of things, right? And you could be like, oh well, I want to use judiciousness, but no, if it is stated, not contradicted, and would therefore be true, it gives a lower barometer of truth and a higher possibility to take things to the highest level without any proof. I just rhymed and I didn't even mean to do it. Yeah. We want to look for things in the story that back up these things or corroborate these things at the very least to be true. I'm not always looking for a 100% on panel thing. I'm not always looking for that. What I want is at least, like, for example, Noah Spada can use Resurrection below the canopy of Lost Noches. Whatever, boom, boom, boom. Or no, Gran Recero can't be used within Lost Noches. Grimjaw does it, but it's canceled out. We see Ulquiorra release, and he doesn't even use a Gran Recero. He uses a Lanza del Relampago, and that pretty much does what it does. That would corroborate niggas not fighting in Lost Noches. It would corroborate that because he's shown the power to destroy enough of it significantly. Right? That's something that would corroborate it. What corroborates Amaterasu being the highest physical attack? And again, maybe that's what Itachi has as his highest physical attack. I wouldn't think that's overall, though. That wouldn't make sense. We're going to say Amaterasu is higher than Night Guy? That don't make sense. We're going to say Amaterasu is higher than Ashbone, which disintegrates? That don't make sense. Yeah, Ab-Stract, I made a long analysis of the debate on my channel. Oh, hey, John, why don't I have your channel, bro? What is going on here? Hold up, bro. Shit. Why don't I have your channel? All right, you know what? I'm going to get you. I'm going to get it, John. I'm going to get it. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but it's super long. Just happy to hear your thoughts on the debate itself as well. Got you. We can definitely do that. We can do all that stuff. All right, I'm almost caught up, so I'm going to read the rest of these, then get going. It's shown... Shinigami says the strongest Naruto Glazer in history versus the strongest Naruto Glazer of today. Oof. Shinigami also says, by the way, Nagato uses Shinra Tensei to counter Amaterasu. He does, exactly. John says, I interpreted that as Danzo just reversing the effects before he actually died, but I could grant your interpretation. Kribo says it's shown to be focus. Remember when Itachi burned an instant hole through a fireproof toad, but doesn't burn the entire thing? Right, and so that's the thing too. Amaterasu hardly ever spreads. That's number 2. I'm sorry, that was number 1. It hardly ever spreads. Number 2, we have no idea the potency of this toad. We have no idea the fire level of this toad. I don't understand. Wasn't Kasami just casually slicing that toad's guts inside of it? We have no idea the potency of this toad. So if Itachi were to use it, even if it hit every one of the pains, Pain could push it back. Yes, he could. It burned through Edo Nagato's arm over the course of like 2+ minutes of a long ass conversation. So yes, it took out chunks, but also so. All right, we can. Yeah. I'm not going to pull up the panel. I'll yield to your interpretation, John, but that was also my point too. It was over the course of an extremely, like, we see him get hit with Amaterasu, and then everything else happens after that. He hits the bird, the crow does its thing, all this other stuff, and then he finally pushes it off of him, and he's more or less fine, right? If he didn't have Edo Tensei, he'd still be able to operate with the wounds that he had, given if he could actually walk and stuff, right? All right. I think, okay, y'all are typing faster than I can actually catch up. So I'm just going to start it here and continue taking notes.
So what is your, what's the plan for, let's say you're controlling Itachi. Well, actually, let's not go like controller plugged in yet.
Yeah,
let's
stick the
character.
controller in the butt.
Yeah, like let's stick with in character. What's Itachi's plan as you see it for like hitting the pains with Amaterasu?
All that's required in order for the Amaterasu goes off, Setsu also makes this statement that all that needs to happen is wherever his eyes can focus on, as long as his eyes are focused on it, the flames appear in his focus. And I definitely think he'll be able to focus on the pads of pain, so he'll just light them all on fire.
But it is dodgeable. As we've seen.
How is it dodgeable exactly?
Well,
Awaken to a world of wonder.
Okay, so that was an interesting one. So eyes focused equals Amaterasu spawning on you.
Sasuke's, for example.
Oh, you're talking about the Raikage scene. Yeah. I mean, you can dodge it in that way because the Raikage, I think, perception blitz Sasuke in that moment.
Yeah.
So if you want to argue Pain can dodge it, you got to also prove that
I wouldn't
perception
necessarily
blitz
say,
Itachi.
I wouldn't even have to argue that Pain can dodge it. Pain has 2 hacks that would be able to get rid of it. Pray to Path and...
So before getting into that, though, the thing with a fight like this, if we're going to do the scenario-based thing, does Itachi start off with Amaterasu? Like, how does the fight begin? If we're starting off with Amaterasu, or like they're just jumping into the point, let's just assume he's jumping into the point where he's using Amaterasu on the 6 paths of pain. That would tell us, number 1, that Itachi hasn't taken out a path of pain, and he's already used probably some chakra just in the exchanges. That's number 1. Because the boy can't last as long as Nagato, probably. That's number 1. Number 2, eyes focus equals Amaterasu. Cool. So, Pain has a lot... Right. Let's assume Itachi gets it off. Who is the most likely path of pain to get hit with the Amaterasu? Assuming the fight's already been happening, like I said, we have the summoning Pain, right? So he's either going to be inside the chameleon, on the bird, on the dog. He's going to be obscure. So I focus equals Amaterasu. He's not going to be hit. We have Tendo. Tendo can almighty push Pain off. Itachi doesn't know this, so Tendo could definitely be a viable option or target, right? We have absorption path Pain. Itachi doesn't know this, that he can absorb it. He is also a viable target, right? But we know better. So that's 3 pains that he's already out of the lineup for hitting. Tendo, summoning path, and absorption path. Those are out of target, right? We have Shirado. Shirado is the guy that can do missiles and stuff like that. Let's say Amaterasu gets on him. Let's say it gets on him and it hits his arm or something like that. Well, he can grow more limbs. And Amaterasu doesn't spread. He could simply chop off his arm and he would be fine. Yes, he would. This is an absolute fact. This doesn't even factor in if the other absorption path went to a path of pain and started absorbing Amaterasu. So The idea that he's just going to be able to use Amaterasu and get it off and hit all of them, I don't see that happening. The minute he like looks at one and starts to turn, they're going to be moving. Things are going to be happening. He's not just going to be able to get that off and nothing happen. The ones I believe he'll be able to hit are the human path that can rip out your soul, and the one that can summon the King of Hell. Human path and the one that can summon the King of Hell. Those are his best options to hit with Amaterasu, and nothing happen and nothing come of it because they have no options to do anything. And those are his best options to hit. Now the issue with that is, depending on which one he hits, it actually might be meaningless, because if he hits the soul stealing path, that means everyone's going to move to protect the King of Hell summoning path, because he can revive all the other pains. So you would have to argue that his best option, and we would never know this, right? Pluck and control up your ass. We would never know this. But Itachi literally might think, holy shit, the main pain, the guy with this ability, is probably the most powerful one. I should take him out first. I think Itachi would conclude that. But we'd actually have to analyze Itachi's fighting. We'd have to analyze his fighting process to actually get an accurate read on who he thinks he would take out first. But the argument could be made he would take out Tendo first. You could definitely make that argument. But then if he does that, he's already wasted on Amaterasu. Then anyone after that, he's shooting what, 3 for 3? Basically, he can only attack 3 people and it'd be viable versus the 3 people he probably can't attack. Like I said, summoning path is going to be inside a creature or far away. Absorption path can absorb it. That's not happening. Tendo can push it away. So you have 3 more people. Shirado, if it hits his arm, if it hits his leg, if it hits like his chest, he can probably like morph off of it, right? We've seen him survive as a small like vestige of himself from getting smashed by Choji and hit with the Raikiri. He's insanely durable as well. Oh, I'm sorry. He's insane endurance, not durable. He's insane endurance, right? He can survive a lot. So even then, the absorption path can get over to him fast enough to absorb all the flames. There's so many ways to counter Itachi's Amaterasu for pain. It's really not even funny. But Swag says it's dodgeable, so we'll hear what he has to say.
Shinra Tensei.
Praetor Path and Shinra Tensei. Okay, so what about the other paths before we get into that? Are they just going to get burnt up right then?
No, Animal Path would force Itachi to deal with all of the summons with Amaterasu. So let's also establish here,
okay.
By the way, I want to make it clear, this isn't me like shifting, I'm not taking the argument.
You're good.
Yeah, we can stick on Amaterasu, but I think that we should establish very early on that Itachi is going to be fighting all 6 of them at the same time, and also multiple animal summons, so there is room for him to get overwhelmed.
Okay, well, I think he can just light the entire battlefield on fire.
Wait, why?
He does it against us. He does it at the Uchiha hideout. Like, he lights, like, the entire forest on fire.
I mean, Pain could just move out of the way. You know, he could just move to a different part of the battlefield. But I don't think he's catching all the power.
I don't think he's fast enough to get out of the line of sight. And to be honest, the animal summon, like, the dog is probably the best animal summon. You'd agree?
For the sake of argument, I'll like say right now.
Yeah,
sure.
I think it's the best.
That's probably like the overall strongest.
Yeah.
One, sure.
So that one lost in canon to the Amaterasu.
Yeah, I remember that.
Lost. Like it just.
So this is an example of like Edo scaling that I'd be like cool with, because there's no reason Edo Itachi's Amaterasu would be like stronger or whatever.
It's the same.
No, I agree. But so you would agree that Itachi would probably, barring Susanoo, would probably have to spend Amaterasu to get rid of the dog, right?
Yeah, I think he would spend an Amaterasu on all of them. Like I think he would just be able to do that. So
Okay. So Itachi would set the battlefield ablaze. That's the first thing we probably should have established. Are they fighting in a forest? Are they fighting at the Uchiha hideout? Are they fighting in the crater that Naruto and Pain fought off? That's probably the first thing we should have established, because that just allowed Noodles to get a fucking environmental an environmental point, essentially. He got an environmental point. If he's setting the whole forest on fire, unless Pain does a chaotic Shinra Tensei and blows everything away, then it would make it a little difficult for them to maneuver. But let's talk about the efficacy of him setting the battlefield ablaze and using Amaterasu on all the summons. Because it was sounding like Swag was saying what I was saying, as far as, okay, hold up. If the summoning path gets all these animals on the battlefield. Like I said, that's a lot of eyes on you, number one. So anywhere you're looking, we're going to know where you're looking because we already have eyes on you. And if we're fast enough to intercept, we can do that too. That's number one. Number two, if Itachi is expending his Amaterasu on a majority of the summonings, cool. They're off the battlefield, granted, but that also means you're not really hitting any of the pains let alone the ones that matter. You're not hitting any of the pains. We have the dog, we have the chameleon, we have the bird, we have the centipede, we have the rhinoceros thing. What are we talking about? And we have the king of hell that can activate, like, what's the art? Like, how much chakra, how many times do we think he can do Amaterasu? He did it twice in his battle with Sasuke. Twice. Now, was it somewhat extended? Yes, but that's like you burning through your chakra meter to continuously use it. You're burning through your chakra meter to continuously use it. You can't manipulate it as well as Sasuke, so it's not like you can make it around your Susanoo or anything like that. And like in the middle of him doing Amaterasu, what if Pain just does Almighty Pull? There's so many things that could go wrong, man. I don't know. That I wouldn't, man. Hey, yo, what's good? We got Kai in the building. Hey, black man, you're late. But that don't surprise me because your kind is always late. Nah, what's up, though, Kai? Are there any fire techniques in fiction with a worse track record than Amaterasu? No, there are not, Michael. I know you left, but that was a funny question. I like the idea that Itachi could focus it into a bullet or something like Odama Rasengan versus Rasendan and burn through a smaller area. Yeah, and the only reason he just laid there and took it is because Kabuto made him lie there like a bum, lol. On his own, he would have deleted it. I agree. Which he did. I agree. Kisame was not making it out of Jiraiya's toad on his own. He was about to resign himself to the fate of fighting Jiraiya if Itachi didn't get them out. I'm going to assume you said if Itachi didn't get them out. I'd have to go back and look at that scene. Knowing what we know about Kisame, if he filled the entire toad's mouth with water, he could have caused it to choke. And then that would have opened up its mouth. So I believe he definitely could have gotten out. Mind you, Kisame can fill an entire canyon with water. No, I'm sorry. A 30% clone of Kisame can fill an entire canyon with water. Right? The biggest toad we've seen is Gamabunta, 16 meters. Not nearly enough to be the size of a canyon. Kisame definitely has the means to get out. Oh, yeah. Swag's pronunciation takes years off my life. That's hilarious. Honestly, Michael, the basic Kido from the Academy and Soul Reaper Society and Momoshika have better feats. Grid says, did Sasuke not just react to the Raikage in that scene? I heavily disagree. That's a perception play. Yeah, I don't see, like, I'm not debating him. It's not about them, so I wouldn't call it out. But yes, no, that's not a perception blitz, in my opinion. Did he dodge Amaterasu? Sure. Was it a perception blitz? No. And you know what? Fair enough. Maybe he needs to actually define what it means, because I've already given my definition of perception blitz on stream. That qualifies nowhere near perception blitz. Gotta bounce, but gonna catch it. Gotcha. Take it easy, Shinigami. Kai says, Ab-Stract, did you hear Kubo is adapting one of the Bleach novels in Core 4000 Year Blood War? Ooh, don't you lie to me. Kai, don't you lie to me. Don't do it. Don't. That's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. That would be so nice. I also agree it wasn't a perception blitz. Soba doesn't know what blitz means. He uses the term very creatively. Hey, what's good, Jax? And we got Neo Matrix in here. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing? I know I'm late, but I'm here. Yes, you are. Hello, hello, hello. What's up? Not much. Just chilling, playing games, listening to some accurate Naruto takes. LOL. How about you? Facts. All right, let's keep cooking.
I think he would.
Yeah,
he would light
you
them
think
all
he
on
would
fire.
have to? You think he would light them all on fire at once?
He lit like the entire forest on fire. Like he literally can cover the battlefield in Amaterasu.
Well, yeah, but then the Preta Pad just absorbs it.
Like, hold up, bro. Hold up. We do understand that this assumes that every path of pain is just standing completely still, right? We understand that. And here's the thing with that. We understand the Amaterasu does not just spark everything in his line of sight on fire. That's not what it does. It does have to be focused. So him turning his head, he's not hitting everything in his line of sight. He has to actually see what he's looking at, focus on it, and then Amaterasu will actually go where it is. When it was chasing Sasuke, mind you, he was focused on right where Sasuke was running and was going to be, to where he actually looked at Sasuke and got to him. Then it started to hit him, right? But if you're dealing with 6 combatants, he's not just going to. No, he's not going to do it. He's going to have to look around, slowly look and focus all around him. And while he's doing that, he's going to be getting missiles shot at him. He's going to be getting almighty pulled into his own damn fire. He's going to be getting assaulted by whatever summoning thing there is. And his attacks are going to be getting repelled and absorbed by the paths of pain that can actually, stop his attacks. To say he would just look at all the paths of pain and they would get hit, that it's not even disingenuous. It's just a bad argument. The series just wouldn't support that at all. Can you imagine, hold up. We're not even talking about 6 people. Imagine if Itachi was fighting just 2 Sasukes. Imagine that. He would have to go to Susanoo way earlier than he did before, and I do not think this would. No, this is a weak argument in my opinion.
He can absorb an entire battlefield.
He can absorb things omnidirectionally.
He wouldn't need to absorb the entire battlefield. Don't walk into fire and absorb what's in your way. Don't walk into fire and attack Itachi at a distance. The Pains can do that. They have better long-range attacks than Itachi does. Almighty pull, almighty push. Missiles. The damn bird can drop bombs. Right?
They don't have to touch his hands.
Okay, it's still just like, if that's the case, like even Nagato, when he got lit on fire, and I know this is more Edo scaling, like even Nagato wasn't able to, like you remember the scene where his arm gets lit on fire by the Amaterasu?
Yes.
Okay, so when that happens, he falls off the bird or whatever, and he Shinra Tenseis it off of him later, but it wasn't before his arm got completely incinerated. So
okay, cool. Let's do this real quick. Let me ask you something. Do you think if Nagato was in complete control of his body, that he wouldn't have just pushed the jutsu off him when it went on him? Cool. Let's do this. About how many panels pass between him getting hit with Amaterasu and us seeing him put it off? And then, just curious, how much time, in real time, do you think elapsed between them? Because a whole conversation is had, and he's still burning. And in fact, you're saying his arm was chunked. I'm surprised the damn thing wasn't burned entirely. So you got to wrestle with that. Do you think if Nagato had 100% control of his faculties and his mind and his body, autonomy, do you think that he would have just let it sit on his body? How about this? Let's look at the Raikage. Didn't he get burned with Amaterasu and also have a full conversation before cutting off his arm? Didn't that happen? Is Itachi's Amaterasu stronger than Sasuke's maybe? Are we going to say, oh, it hit the lightning cloak? Well, no, it hit through the lightning cloak because he was burning just very slowly. Oh, well, Raikage is tougher. Is that what we're going to say? Well, cool. How about Karin's back? Is that tougher than Nagato's arm? Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. It doesn't refute the fact that if Nagato had 100% of control of his body, he would have pushed it off him the moment it got on him. Bad point in my opinion, Swag. I know bad point in my opinion.
I don't think he's going to be able to use any kind of powers before his body parts are going to be able to.
That Nagato got caught off guard because Kabuto wasn't expecting Itachi to break free of his control. I don't think that is a fair representation.
You think Kabuto got caught off guard?
Yes.
Based on what?
The fact that had never happened before. No Edo had
he taken control over Nagato?
So I think here's the thing, right? with people, you can argue. How do I want to say this? Some people are better at making logical arguments. Some people are better at the rhetoric as far as like argumentation. Noodles is definitely better at framing his arguments. He's definitely better at framing them, like how he's coming to attack them. That makes sense. But if you know what you're talking about, and here's the thing, Swagkage shouldn't have engaged with the Edo point with Edo Nagato as the basis of conversation. We're not talking about Edo Nagato. Edo Nagato is not Pain or Nagato in control of their faculties or bodies, right? The only reason that damage accrued the way it did was because he let the fire sit on him for that long of a time. Like, Swag should have just cut out the middleman and said, yeah, that's cool, but we're talking about Nagato, not Edo Nagato. So the minute the fire got on him, he would have pushed it off. Yeah, that's probably what would have happened. No serious damage would have been done.
So by that point, real quick.
EVE Online is a vast
Let me see. I mean, either way, even if he hadn't.
Real quick, guys, if you're liking this work, if you're liking the commentary, if you're liking the breakdown and the debate, give the stream a like and a share. Hype the video for your boy. Come on, do it. Like the video.
But I don't know if it's relevant, but I'll look for it.
I'm pretty sure that happens later in the fight. I'm not trying to like get on you.
Yeah, no, he probably did, but I think either way, just based on the way that the Edos were programmed, you could just argue that it was like a programming oversight, that they weren't programmed to be prepared for an Edo to just come.
Hold up. We got my boy Nirvana Ignil in the chat. What's good, Ig? He says, this is rare. Hey, listen, I just got done saying, y'all, I don't have time for y'all, so I got to make time for y'all. All right, that's what it is. That's what it's coming down to. I got to make time for you guys. But yes, this is rare. I had some free time this Saturday morning, and I wanted to get into it. I wanted to get a stream going. This is definitely going to be a multiple part series because we're 9 minutes in on the video, but I'm pretty sure I've stopped it multiple times to address certain arguments and certain points. But I like this. I like this. This is cool for me. But how you doing, bro? Debating is stupid. Debating for me is only stupid if you're looking to. Here's the thing. Here, I want to say this, right? Debates should really only be had to further an understanding or a conversation. I don't really like go into conversations or debates looking to necessarily win the debate. That's so subjective. And then other factors play a big part of it. Because as I just stated, you can have the better logical argument or argumentation laid out. If the person is just better at framing and explaining and are just a better speaker than you, they're better with crowd engagement, they're better with making examples and points, they can win a debate with not having anything correct as far as the information, right? They can win a debate while not saying anything as substantial as the things you put forth. That can happen. It does happen. Thankfully, your boy Ab-Stract happens to be good at both. But the other thing would be, especially when it comes to anime or manga, we can't really have a debate if we don't agree on enough particulars. And there might be a conversation coming up next week where I'm talking with, this guy I met on Twitter. He wanted to talk to me. I was like, all right, bet, yeah, no, we can do it. I don't mind. But I told him, I was like, listen, because he wanted to debate Naruto versus, he wanted to debate Ishiki versus Ichigo. And I'm like, bro, I don't think we can have a productive conversation because I don't know if we agree on enough things to have that debate. Either you'd have to come to my world or I'd have to come to your world. And I don't really see either one of those things happening, but he said he agreed with most of the AAAP scaling points. I was like, we'll see how true that is. We're going to have that conversation. But even that, I'm not going to look like that's not going to be a debate. If I'm going to debate, it's going to be done right. It's going to be extremely formal. There will be an actual moderator. We're going to actually present and show slides. We're going to present evidence. We're going to have times to present counterclaims, cross-examinations, And then we can have like a little 15 to 20 minute back and forth conversation if that's what you want to do. But what I'm more concerned about is me proving my point uninterrupted, you proving your point uninterrupted, us cross-examining those points and seeing where things fall in between. Because I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind being derided. I don't mind having criticisms and none of that stuff. At the end of the day, I just want to know what I'm saying is, like, if we're debating it, I want to know that I'm wrong because you had more evidence than me. You had stronger evidence than me, right? That's the stuff I would be looking for. So in a sense, I do agree with you, Matrix. Debates can be stupid, or debates are dumb, definitely. The toad gut was closed when Jiraiya summoned it. Its size alone suggests something bigger than Gamabunta. I mean, maybe. A whole canyon, Karibo? Huh. We'd have to see the size of the toad. Got my coffee, ready to see stuff now. Let's go. Let's get it. I was just watching some theory videos on Still Wakes the Deep, and then I saw Ab-Stract streaming at convenient time for me. LOL, so I tuned in. That's what's up. That's what's up. What's up, Nirvana? Facts. All right, let me scroll down a little bit. We got Luna Ursa in the chat. I'm sick of you, Ab-Stract. I got no notification for this stream. Hey, it's not me. It's not me. YouTube is trying to stop my greatness. All right, I need you guys to like the video and hype it so people know I'm live. Subscribe and resubscribe. Turn on those bell notifications. I don't know why. Hopefully, it's not only me that's getting like this is happening to, because that'd be annoying. Swag isn't a tactically skilled debater. To be fair, that's never been his focus, in my opinion, as a content creator. That's fair. That's fair. Like it's not everyone's shtick. Definitely not everyone's shtick. But like, here's my thing. Some things though, like if you know this series as well as I presume he does, some stuff is just like basic. Like, well, hold up, bro. That was Edo Nagato. Like, he's correctly pointing out that Kabuto was late to take control. But why would that matter when Nagato would be in full control of his body? There is no lag between taking control and activating the jutsu. It would happen the moment he got hit with Amaterasu. It would happen. Wait, EVE Online still exists? EVE Online has been around for almost decades now, bro. Ab-Stract, if it's not huge trouble, could you reduce the volume of their video a bit? It's louder than your voice at the moment, so I'm riding the volume fader. Okay, got you. Let me turn mine down to medium. Now we have some clashing going on because Karma needs it a little bit louder, but you need it a little lower. So let me look at my audio real quick. So my desktop is on 1000, and so I need my audio capture to be at like maybe 500. Let's do that one. Or maybe 400, or maybe 300. Okay, let's do 250. Okay, let's do 110. Okay, that doesn't make any sense at all. You know what? Let's do 150 and see how that goes. Okay, I'll mute this one and turn this one on, and we'll see how it's jumping real quick. Let me catch up on the rest of these, and then I'm gonna start it, guys. Yeah, winning the argument / clearing the point versus representing stuff accurately / achieving consensus. Exactly, yeah. It's been an hour, not gonna lie. It's been an hour? Yeah. Ig says, debating is fun. I believe it's fun. Like, I think he's saying what's stupid is the... Well, actually, yeah. No, yeah. I think he's saying what's stupid about it is, I guess, just like the contention within it. Don't get me wrong. I find fun in it because I love how I like hearing how people's minds work, and then like, well, I don't know if you considered this. Have you considered this? So I don't mind it, but I can understand where it's stupid. There's debating to be heuristic or just to be contrarian. And then there's trying to argue to further both sides' understanding. The problem is people don't start with common ground axioms first. I agree. I agree. And honestly, that was going to be one of the questions I asked this young man when we have our conversation, I think around next week. Like, what is your purpose? How do we get here, first off? Like, what's the purpose of this debate or this conversation? And, like, what's your goal in it? What is your goal? It's not fun when someone starts doxing over a fictional character. Oh, yeah. When it gets, like, toxic, then it's like, all right, I don't need to be talking to this individual. People who say debating is stupid, they clearly have no critical thinking skills. Well, no, I wouldn't say that, bro. It's not about not, like, for example, what Matrix just said. If you get into a debate with someone and they get out their body, they get into their feelings, and then it makes the whole community look bad of power scalar debaters. It's like, oh, wow, look at these guys. They're literally going to insults over manga, drawings, and cartoons. It's stupid. It's 100% stupid if it gets to that level, if it gets to that point. There's no way around that, right? You'll never get Ab-Stract out his body over debating anime, manga. Ever. If you start doing personal attacks, that's when we exit stage left. If we start doing personal attacks, we start getting into things outside of the scope. Cool. You just embarrassed yourself because it shows you don't have, number one, control. You don't have emotional control. You don't have self-control. You don't respect yourself, and you damn sure did not respect me. So I have nothing better to do than to leave that conversation. So in that respects, I could definitely understand how debating is stupid. But no, I can definitely find enjoyment and fun in it too. John says, if you need someone to moderate or at least listen in, I'd be happy to, as long as I can make it work with my schedule, though I don't know Bleach. All good. And, well, listen, that's if someone ever takes a formal debate with me. That's if that happens. The conversation I'll be having with the young man will most likely be freestyle type of stuff. Igno, that's bullshit. People can be reasonable and not like debates. You're being an asshole again. Nirvana, you're trying to insult my intelligence. I don't appreciate that. You know what I mean when I say debating is stupid. Never said they have to like it. All I said them saying is stupid to say. I don't think it's stupid to say, Ig. I think there's definitely valid reasoning and valid grounds to not like debating, bro. I really think there is. More of a general chat kind of guy. Talk about power scaling in a broad sense and break down verse systems and how they interact cross verse. Don't like to engage in pointless debates. I agree. Yeah. Well, no, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I take pointless debates, but it is to expose the stupidity, and you guys have seen it. You guys have seen my live streams. You guys have seen my videos breaking down this Twitter stuff. I take those conversations to show what is out there and the type of thinking that persists within the scaling community and how bad it is. But yeah. Ab-Stract, no, sorry, I meant your voice is... Okay. Your voice is fine. Oh, no. I meant to say your voice is a fine volume, but their video, the debate, is way louder. Okay. LOL. If you can bring theirs down to your level, that would help. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Sorry to derail. No. You're all good, bro. You're all good. I'm catching up on chats anyway. All right, I'm going to skip a few down. We have Scarlet Majin in here. Hey, Scarlet Majin, that is a fire name. Have you been in here before, Scarlet Majin? I don't think I've seen you before. If you have, you need to start coming around more often so I get familiar with you. You already have a nice PFP, so that's very recognized, or that's very memorable. Oh, isn't that from Fate? Who is that? That's Assassin from Fate, right? Don't blame the act of debate when the person debating is at fault. I agree. Noodles and this other dude, Jay the Great, we're literally going to fly out and have a fist fight over some drama that came out of a YouTube Naruto debate, LOL. Oh, wow. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with that, right? I would love nothing more. This is just personal. I would love nothing more than to put hands on a power scaler. Because I think it would be funny, bro. I think it'd be funny. Especially if it got to the point where we were insulting each other. Oh, at that time, I need my fate. And you got to prove that you about that. You got to prove that you are with everything that you was talking. Oh, yeah, I need that. That's hilarious, though. Scarlet Majin says, hi, Ignil. Ab-Stract says, Tay says, I get Ab-Stract out of his body. No, you don't, bro. The last time we had a conversation, you were definitely out of your body. Come play with something safe, Tay. Stop playing with me. Okay, cool. Then debating isn't stupid. It's the person who is doing stupid shit in the act of debating. I agree with that. That's what I was saying, Ab-Stract. Debating is stupid, not in general sense, and starts being toxic. I agree with that. Scarlet Majin, hey, Ab-Stract, can you please answer my question of that. Oh, yes. Okay, so Scarlet Magian, you asked that question. Okay. If all Bankais give you a 10 times imp or not, because Ikaku's gives him none. We can go to it really quickly. Yeah. So do Bankais give? Let me just make sure I'm ready. Yeah. If all Bankai give 10 times imp or not? No. First off, I don't believe all Bankai give a 10 times amp. I don't believe that. You could make the argument that mastered Bankais definitely give you a 10 times amp. Like, for example, Toshido in his Daigoden Hyurin regular form with the petals behind his back and the ice wings versus adult Toshido, I would definitely argue that's a 10 times amp. You could actually argue higher with the scaling. And the reason for that is because Toshido goes from getting, 2-shot from Baz B to what? Fighting the strongest version of Gerard. 10 times amp minimum for that, right? Then you have people like Yamamoto, who's been alive for over 5 to 10,000 years, 4 stages of his Zanpakuto. You could argue he's getting a 10 times increase in power overall. And in fact, from what we've seen from Yamamoto, you can definitely give him that. Yes. Someone like Kenpachi would also be good. Maybe not Bankai Kenpachi inherently because he hasn't mastered his power, right? But a mastered Kenpachi, all his things would go to stats. You could definitely argue a 10 times if he were to master his Bankai. But no, I wouldn't say everyone gets a 10 times boost from using Bankai. I wouldn't say everyone gets a 10 times boost, no. First off, there are specific ability-based things. What we would probably be looking at anyway would be a 10 times to Reiatsu for their Zanpakuto. Their abilities might be getting 10 times X depending on what they can do. Like Rukia going absolute 0 in Shikai versus doing an ice nuke in Bankai. That would be a 10 times performance, right? Because she can only extend her ice to her sword and to herself. It can only do Hakuden and Sokishido. But her doing an ice nuke, that's definitely 10 times what she displayed. Just off of AoE, just off of visuals, that's 10 times more powerful, right? But as far as like it being or going all into stats, I wouldn't say it's 10 times. When Rukia goes Bankai, she's not getting 10 times faster, 10 times stronger, 10 times this, 10 times that. No. What we do see is that the release of a Bankai or a Shikai, depending on who you are talking about, we do see that is able to somewhat also boost your stats because, as I've said before, I believe a rise in Reiatsu correlates to a rise in stats. This isn't especially with Shikai, this isn't always shown to be a 1-to-1, but there are definitely examples to where when people enter Shikai, they just do a little bit better than when they were in base. And when they enter Bankai, they do exponentially better. Or that's because the blade itself, or they're getting that stat increase is like, something I'll have to like still do a video on. But no, I don't believe everyone gets a 10 times flat out boost from going Bankai. Hope that answered your question in enough depth. Majin, let me know if you need a little bit more. It's fine if you want to reduce it now, but thanks. Got you. That's Ryder from Fate. That's Ryder? Wait, what? That's not Ryder. Isn't Ryder the King of Kings? Is that not Assassin from Fate? I thought that was Assassin from Fate. Well, Medusa. Okay. Yeah, I've commented on your Kakashi speed short, and yeah, she is from Fate. Her name is Medusa. Oh, okay, yeah. LOL. You can whatever you want, but calling an active combo stupid due to what the person says is stupid is what I'm saying. 10 times in stats. Yeah, I wouldn't say 10 times in stats. Ig says, I 100% believe all Bankai is a 5 to 10 times amp. Yes. That wasn't the question, though, bro. That wasn't the question. I believe it's a 5 to 10 times amp, too. But specifically, he's asking about, like, output and stats and if everyone gets this. I don't believe everyone gets this 10 times. No, 10 times amp is in stats. No 10 times amp is in stats. Combat ability is more broad and vague than stats. I agree. How do you at people? Good question. Not sure. Thanks, Ab-Stract. Oh, I'm glad I answered your question, Scarlet Majin. Hey, Scarlet Majin, if you like this channel, please start being a recurring member in the chat, bro. I like your PFP. It's very recognizable, easy to remember. Scarlet Margin is also very easy to remember. Who is in here? Balik, right? It was Balik, aka Android 17. I'm gonna have to remember that, but yeah, you guys got to get, especially if you don't have like a PFP, get a memorable PFP so I can actually start building a connection with you and give you a cool nickname. Majin, you actually don't need a nickname because Scarlet Majin is actually kind of fire. All right. Rider is a classification. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, cool. Let's get back into this. We got about 30 more minutes and then I have to get out of here.
Completely switch sides. Like, if Nagato saw Itachi look at him, his instinct wouldn't be put up your guard and get ready to defend, right? Because like that had never happened before, and Edo just completely switching sides.
Well, you're just thinking that like he didn't expect Itachi to hit him with the Amaterasu.
Yes.
Once it does hit him, though, like I mean, it's burnt. Like he fell off the entire bird, and he still couldn't like get it off of him. Like,
but what I'm saying though is that the Pains would be ready for it in a way that Itachi wasn't, or not. Sorry, not that Itachi wasn't, in a way that Nagato wasn't.
I don't think so. I mean, it's still Nagato.
We can agree though that these are different situations, right? Because this is like we're talking about like an in-character deathmatch. Yeah. So these are different circumstances. So I don't think that the feat should be used the same way.
I understand, but like at the same time, there's a lot of time for him to push it off after he gets hit, and he simply doesn't. So like, even if he got caught off guard initially, even if he got caught off guard initially, though, there's tons of time after that for him to blow it off of him. There just is. So like, he could have just blew it off of him or absorbed it off him, and he didn't even have the capability to do that.
But what I'm saying is, Prado would just.
So here's the thing with that. Even if we take that logic of there was plenty of time, I swear to God, doesn't Nagato literally say, "Oh snap, my body's moving on its own"? He says that, doesn't he? That would intimate that Kabuto is actively controlling what and what doesn't go on within them, right? Their actions and stuff. So if he can't even control what he's doing, why do we think he's going to be able to control pushing the fire off him in a timely manner? None of this matters anyway, though, because like I said, we would be arguing alive Nagato not being controlled by Kabuto, and he would just push it off immediately. But even then, I'm saying Noodles' point doesn't really even hold up because at no point did Nagato have control over his own body.
Be able to absorb it here. It's also unclear if Edo Itachi would be able to launch it as quickly and with as much precision as Sekitachi.
Well, that's what I was about to bring to you. I agree to that. That maybe he wouldn't be quite as fast, but I don't actually agree to that yet. I'll say this. The feat where he burns off his arm is Nagato with basically combined all 6 pads, right? And used in the last debate, and you've even referenced it in some of your videos, that when the 6 pads are spread up, they don't actually have. Hold on, let me actually change this.
What, that they don't have all of the pain?
Yeah, they don't have all their power in one path. Like Nagato does, though. So he has actually got the most possible chakra he can have before he gets the B amp, of course. The most.
I'm glad you said that. So if he has all of his powers in, if he has all of his powers in one body, then him not absorbing it would also tell us that he's not in control of his body. Because if you were going to say, oh, he got hit with it and he just somehow couldn't react and activate Shinra Tensei, cool. But what would stop him from activating his absorption power? Like, what would stop that? That's
possible chakra he can have. So all these other pads of pain are going to be slower. That's why, like...
Oh, real quick, by the way, if you're just getting here, I'm not arguing Noodles. What I'm doing is I'm arguing from the position of whoever's presenting a claim right now. Right now, Noodles' claim is that Amaterasu would incinerate all the passive pain. So I'm taking the opposite side of that and just, counteracting him how I would do it if I were hearing these claims live. If Swag starts to get into a cipher about whatever would work for Pain versus Itachi, if I think I can combat it, I'll speak up. But if not, I'll probably just be like, I'll give him that. But we'll see. But it's also hard because I believe Pain would win anyway. But
Hammer was able to catch one of them off guard.
It would be, maybe they would be. It's unquantifiable how much slower they would be and how much slower Itachi would be, though, I'd say. Which is why I don't think that this is a fair, I don't think that it's fair to use this as a representation of what would happen in this fight.
I would say it's pretty significant, even if unquantifiable, though, because Konohamaru is still able to land a Rasengan on one of them.
Yeah,
You
one
know
of the
what I mean?
non-combat paths, and it's while the path is holding 2 people, and it doesn't have any ninjutsu to get him off.
Yeah,
Like,
I understand
if the Preda path was just standing there, like barrier up, that obviously wouldn't have worked.
If the Preda path was standing there, barrier up, yeah, it's assuming he's already gonna have the barrier up, though. Like, this is like when Nagato gets hit, like, he has the absorption ability, and he simply just couldn't absorb it. So it's like he got his entire arm incinerated. So
again, couldn't absorb it, or wasn't allowed to absorb it, or wasn't being controlled to absorb it. We do remember him saying, "Oh no, my arm is moving on its own," and then he does a Chibaku, a small, telekinesis rock throw at Naruto. We remember that, right? Come on, Swag. Come on, Swag.
It's not necessarily true that he couldn't absorb it. It's possible that he just didn't. He might not have been able to absorb it off of him, but he didn't need to because he had Edo regeneration and he had Shinra Tensei to blow it off.
Swag is just missing it. He's just missing it by this much.
So yeah, I know he has Shinra Tensei to blow off. That's what he does in that scene. He blows it off of him with Shinra Tensei, but it's already after his entire body's lit on fire. His arm is already incinerated, which was the part that got directly hit.
I just think the argument of a blitz is there are too many variables that we can't account for because it's from a completely different fight under completely different circumstances with very different versions of the characters. I think there's no way to link Sick Itachi's Amaterasu speed to Pain.
I don't think it's any different, to be honest with you, because what's happening when he's
Okay, now I gotta get on Swag's ass. No way to link Sick Itachi's Amaterasu speed to Pain. Now, they didn't really clarify if they were talking about the activation or if we're still just talking about the spawn or Itachi just initiating the jutsu, right? Because he has to build up chakra, if I remember correctly. No. He did the Amaterasu when he was shooting a fireball, but still he was standing still, which gave him enough time to build up chakra in his eye. The Pains aren't fast. Let's get that out the way right now. The Pains aren't fast. If Amaterasu, if Itachi has his eye on a single one, I believe he can hit that single one and then move on to the next one. I don't agree with him doing a 360. I don't agree with him doing a 360 and hitting every path of Pain. That's illogical. That wouldn't happen. Right? Because the focus aspect has to be there. But if he's honing on a single path of Pain, and they his eye bleeds, and they try and move, they're going to get hit with Amaterasu. I definitely believe that. So I don't agree with Swag saying that his Amaterasu speed wouldn't be with the Pains. I don't agree with that.
Is the Amaterasu is he's summoning Hellfire. It's basically stated.
Hellfire.
And I said, it's Nagato's.
Hold on, real quick. Before let me finish real quick. So. I understand you're arguing that Nagato is not ready for it, but at the same time, you're saying they're not comparable. But Itachi was when he was sick, was near dead, right? He's near dead. He's and then they both get the Edo. They both the same thing happens with Pain after he uses all his big jutsu, right? Or Nagato's coughing up blood. He's dropping the Chibaku Tensei. His body's failing him and things like that. So it's this, right? When Pain becomes an Edo Tensei, he also gets all of his bodies absorbed into one path himself, and he also what was I gonna say? They're also both Edo Tensei, so even they're both sick when they're alive, and then they both get the Edo Tensei later. So it's they're kind of the same thing in that way.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm not gonna necessarily argue they. Go ahead.
You can't prove that it's an equal stats amp or whatever. And another thing I would argue from that fight is that what I'm talking about with Itachi having to catch him off guard is proven by the fact that Itachi doesn't think that he can get the drop on Nagato later, which is why he throws kunai into the eyes of the summons. Because he thinks that Nagato will be able to react to another Amaterasu or Susanoo attack or something.
I don't think yet.
Not bad. Let me go back and hear that. That might have been the most rhetorically sound thing Swag has said, in my opinion.
And another thing I would argue from that fight is that what I'm talking about with Itachi having to catch him off guard is proven by the fact that Itachi doesn't think that he can get the drop on Nagato later, which is why he throws kunai into the eyes of the summons. Because he thinks that Nagato will be able to react to another Amaterasu or Susanoo attack or something.
I don't think that.
Now that I heard that again, like, here's the thing with that. Did everything he just say happen? Yes, everything he just said did happen. Are they for the reasons he just framed it? I don't know about that. The best tactical option to get close to Nagato would be to take out all the eyes that can see. Right? If the eyes can see him coming from 15 meters away, Nagato has all day to react to Itachi. I don't know if it's necessarily, though, about, oh, I had to take these out or else I couldn't. No, it would just make more tactical sense to take the eyes out that can see everything on the battlefield. and then attack you while they can't see me coming. I don't know if it's a necessary point that he must have did it or else no attack could have been initiated. I wouldn't agree with that.
He wasn't. He was doing. I think he was just doing that preemptively to prevent him from having extra vision. I
There
don't
you
think
go.
he was
Wouldn't have.
necessarily
Yeah,
doing
but
it to
he
get-
wouldn't
There you go. There you go.
have
him off
done it.
guard.
He wouldn't have done it if he didn't think that Nagato seeing him coming wasn't like a potential problem.
I disagree with that. Why would I want eyes on me? Even if, why would I want eyes on me in general? Even if I'm fast enough to do it, all that gives you is more time to prepare. Why would I take the chance when I can also just take? Why would I take the chance when I can confidently take out the eyes and then execute my attack?
It might have just. He could have.
I think it just supports
Yeah,
what
he
I'm
doesn't. He
saying.
doesn't. He doesn't have to do it because of that reason, though. I think that's just an assumption on your part. He could just be doing it because he doesn't want any of the other summons to be able to intervene necessarily.
There you go.
He just wants
Could,
to,
but what I'm
yeah.
saying is the fact that he does it, and he feels. It's very possible. I'd say that it's the most likely that he's doing it to make sure that Itachi isn't able, or sorry, that Nagato isn't able to react to him.
I would be careful with using the terminology most likely, because in this situation there really isn't any way to determine probability.
But what I'm saying is I think the fact that he did it at all just supports my argument, especially because it's very clear that Kabuto wasn't ready for what happened, and Nagato by extension probably wasn't either.
I get that, but
I just think that it's
Nagato not being ready for things, though, is a non-factor. Has been being controlled this entire time. Him not being ready isn't a surprise. All that matters right now is Kabuto. Kabuto decides when he does Shinra Tensei. He decides when he does the Almighty Pull, and all, he decides all that stuff. He decides when he pushes the fire off him or if he absorbs it.
very shaky using this as a blitz or speed argument.
Well, I think it's kind of on your onus to prove that he even can absorb it in this time frame. You know what I mean?
No, I don't have to. You would have to prove that he wouldn't be able to for me to just say that Preda doesn't have the ability to, because there's no way for you to link Itachi to.
This point kind of confuses me. Maybe a Naruto fan can help me out with this. Is there any reason that Pain would not be able to absorb the Amaterasu? Did Madara not absorb the Amaterasu? Can Kaguya not absorb Jutsu through her skin? I'm a little confused with this one. What would stop Pain from absorbing the Amaterasu, or one of the passive Pain?
Let's not get into the burden of proof arguments. What I'll say is this: the fact is that Konohamaru is able to land on the pads of Pain when they all six are up. He is. I don't remember if the robot path had been destroyed by Kakashi at that point yet, but I don't think he had. So I think it's all six up. So I don't think that if Konohamaru can land this Rasengan on him, I think that the other paths are just going to get Amaterasu. Huh?
Yeah, I think Swag just said all the paths were separate. We have to remember that Nagato was taking on an entire village. This isn't just Itachi by himself, who doesn't even make shadow clones like that because he doesn't have that much chakra like that. So if it's an entire village versus one person, Pain or Nagato getting caught slipping one time or a couple times is going to happen. That's just the facts. He's engaging with random Leaf Shinobi, asking them, where is Naruto? He's fighting Kakashi, Choji, and some fodders over there. He's fighting Shizune and whoever else is over there. He's doing a lot. His focus is split 6 ways on multiple different people, as opposed to just one Itachi.
All of the paths were separate.
Yeah.
No, so are you arguing that Konohamaru is faster than Pain?
In that instance, yeah. I mean, he landed on him. He out-teched.
In that instance, Like, it's a funny way to say it. It's a funny way to say it. I mean, because, like, it would be objectively true. In that instance, sure, right? Unless, well, no. I'd actually have to go look at the panel before I even said that, because I'd have to see if Pain even had a reaction to it. Or was he, like, completely caught off guard or surprised? Because if it was off guard or surprised, then no, he wouldn't be faster than him in that instance. No, that was just him being off guard and him not knowing the attack was coming. But if Pain did see it was coming or had time to, like, process it and Konohamaru still got off, yes, in that instance he would have been faster. But we also know under a, like we know this is the whole Sakura Kaguya shit all over again, right? Under the circumstances, Sakura was able to land a punch on Kaguya. Could she do it had those circumstances not been present? The answer is no. She's not coming anywhere near close to Kaguya. Konohamaru is not coming anywhere near close to that path of pain in a 1v1 scenario.
Caught him off guard. It's more like he caught him off guard, but the same thing happened with the Amaterasu.
I would say that Konohamaru caught him off guard while he was holding two people for interrogation, and there wasn't anything else he could do because their speed.
They do swap hands. They do swap hands.
Can you show me the scan of them swapping hands real quick?
Yeah, I can. Does anyone know 6? Do you know what the pain chapter is? Isn't it like when Konohamaru fights him? I think it's like 340.
Hell no, nigga. It's like
it's not 340. It's in the 400.
420.
My bad.
420 is when he
420.
fights Kakashi. 418 is when he pulls up. So sometime after that. 429 is when Naruto comes. So it's between.
What I do know is that Naraka
one second.
isn't as slow as Konohamaru. I might get into why later, but I just know for a fact that Naraka, the pain that get for Sengan, is not as slow as Konohamaru.
We'll get into that here in just a second. Let's find out where Konohamaru lands on this path of pain. Because if Konohamaru is
I need
on
them
this
to pull
path
up
of
that
pains, I
panel.
see absolutely no reason why Itachi couldn't just do the same to all of them as well.
They're not all the same speed.
They're not. I think they are. I think that there's no proof. Like there is proof that's.
You're going to say that all of the paths of pain are the same speed?
Yeah, you would be ampling them all with the they're able to combo
Okay,
attack
after
with each
that,
other
I
and
will
move
keep that
alongside
in
each
mind
other.
after this scan.
Is Kono, so now this is when Dylan Dylan. This is when Ab-Stract would jump into Jiraiya scaling and Kakashi scaling, because we have Shirado dodging a Chidori from the backside, right? Now, the other Pain saw it, which means he knew he was there, but he still had to be fast enough to duck his head from a Chidori point blank, and he did. Tendo was able to dodge a point blank Chidori as well. The Pain that can do the summoning blocked Jiraiya's fastest attack. Did they see it and know it was coming? Yes, but the point is this. They still have to be fast enough to do it. You can't just say, oh, well, they knew it was going to happen. Okay, they still got to be fast enough to do it, though. That's the whole point of having the advantage of the sight. They have to be fast enough to react. If they're not fast enough to react, then it's not going to work. So to say Konohamaru is as fast as Pain is beyond many levels of wild to me, but okay.
I'll respond with something else.
Yeah. We'll find the scan real fast, and then we'll move on from that. You got to find where Konohamaru is laying that Rasengan down.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list view. Next, I set a priority and a due date to keep things on track. I create custom statuses to organize my progress exactly how I want it. I like to add the action items field, so...
All right, 10:55, cool. Let me read chats for like 5 minutes. Where we at? Riders, a classification. I think they get in the stats if they're due to how Reishi works. Yeah, a good example is Soifun. Her Bankai doesn't actually make her any faster, but drastically increases her destructive ability. Right, there you go. Noodles is good at riding, says Ig. Majin says, yeah, same for Byakuya too. His Bankai increases the number of pedals he can use. Right. So yeah, like all of those in my opinion would be like, you could definitely argue 10 times. You know, I just wouldn't say it goes into stats for every character. I would say I would argue that it does transfer into stats, just not 10 times. Going Bankai, that is. I would argue it does transfer into stats, just maybe not 10 times. Well, no, not even maybe. Definitely not 10 times. Note that here he says there's tons of time. Later on, he'll switch up and be like, Amaterasu will burn very fast. Nagato couldn't push it off in time. Wow. Igno calling what Noodles does ratting is an insult to rats. LOL. Majid says, not gonna lie, I like cross-verse debates more than inverse. So I like inverse debates for Naruto, I think, the most, because Naruto really is a series where, depending on how you argue and how much you know, a stronger character could be felled by a weaker character. And you can do that with outright scaling. So I like Naruto inverse fights way more. They're much more fun. Ursa says, Noodles is assuming a lot of details while Swag just lets every argument resolve only to be countered by him with tertiary details. Yeah. But like, it's on the person debating Noodles to dispel those assertions, right? You can come back with your own assertions. Just like how Swag was trying to be like, yeah, this is the most likely scenario. I wouldn't do that. How would you argue your scenario is more likely than mine? What actual evidence corroborates that justification or that position? What actually justifies it? You wouldn't find anything concrete, right? I think Itachi would beat Pain/Nagato. Oh, interesting. Do you think Itachi would beat Pain/Nagato? Oh, okay. Pack says, I also love Crossverse more. Anime Matrix, Neo Matrix says, also, people need to stop spreading misinformation about Dragon Ball. Instead, just watch the source material. I'm going to start pushing for people buying Dragon Ball DVDs or rare tapes to watch it. Yeah. Who's doing misinformation about Dragon Ball, though? Ursa says, I love Crossverse when it's fair. I agree. People need to start pushing watching the source material and enjoying it. Mm-hmm. The only inverse I've did was Jiraiya versus Orochimaru. Funny how y'all went from hating debating for no logical reasons other people do stupid stuff to win to now liking debates and cross-verse debates. Y'all be confusing. Ig is everywhere, bro. What? Igno, I'm the mine guy from our Discord. Pac Miller says, I agree. John Nathan says, yeah, covering your bases doesn't mean you have to. Just that it's smart to. Okay. Doesn't mean you have to. Just that smart to rap. Didn't say anything about cross-verse debating. I said people should support the source material. Ignil Saibao. What is going on? Ignil Saibao. I'm talking about healthy discussions. Not my character is bound to beat your character because I refuse to entertain the opposite bullshit. I agree. See, but like, that's literally, in my opinion, what 95% of debates are established on. My character is stronger, and I'm going to get them this strong. I'm going to scale them this strong to beat whoever is coming up against them. I have no reason to talk to people like that. Because it's just going to be unfair, right? If I'm doing my best to get a character accurately to where they are, and you're just trying to do your best to get them stronger than where I get that character, what are we doing? I'm handicapped because I'm trying to be accurate and consistent. You're just trying to win the debate. It's not fair. It's not fun. I don't like it. But if you had to constrain yourself to my scaling, then what would happen? That's what I would love to see. Hopefully this guy that I talked to ends up actually holding true to that. I hope he's doing enough research and prep right now, because I don't need much. She's okay. No need to get no need to get heated, guys. I agree with that. Gotta get you into a convo about Reborn Illusion scaling and comparing to Bleach/Naruto Ab-Stract. Think it would be a fun convo. Illusion Reborn Illusion. Okay, interesting. There's no reason he can't absorb it. LOL. It's still ninjutsu. I agree. Ab-Stract. If I understand how the Pareto path works correctly, it essentially reverses the polarity of the jutsu, then absorbs the dissembled chakra. But let me check. Oh, okay. So I've never heard that explanation or breakdown. Please check on that. In other words, it should work. Okay, gotcha. Remember, people, support your Japanese creators by buying the source material. Going to keep promoting until someone does it. Got you, Neo Matrix. She's quite, yo. Egg. Chill, bro. Chill. Like, listen, I understand the Saibao was said, But let's not do that language, gang. Let's not do that language. Because that's where it's getting into the point where it's like the conversation is getting someone out of their body. We got to reel it in. Right? No side bows. Well, actually, I don't mind acronyms, but spelling out the full thing to me gives a harder intention. It gives a more, I would just say it gives a harder intention actually spelling out. Just chill out, y'all. Chill out. It's not reversing the polarity of the jutsu. It's reversing the circulation of the creative path's own chakra. Neo, I like it when it's free. Jack says there's no reason why Nagato couldn't do it. The Madara incident is confusing because his fake Rinnegan was fading / gone when he revived. So he just took off his clothes. Kage just did it, yeah. John Maven says Ab-Stract from DB3, an endless whirlpool that sucks away every... Oh, okay. From Databook 3, an endless whirlpool that sucks away every jutsu. This jutsu causes the body's chakra circulation to flow in reverse. Okay. Sucking away the jutsu of the target. The absorbed. Okay. Okay, yeah. So it would definitely work then. Igno, quit being disingenuous. Chakra disperses inside the body, and the power is sucked away as if into a bottomless swamp. Every jutsu, regardless of its chakra properties, are sucked away and rendered ineffective. Yeah. Yeah, so he definitely could have done it. And this all just goes back to reconfirm Nagato was not in control of his own body. Shinigami is back for a moment. What did I miss? We still yapping. The pains definitely show a difference in performance as there's less of them, as less of them are in play, right? Swag isn't a debater, but he is doing good. Just debunk what they say if it's outlandish. Exactly. See, that's what I mean about debating and power scaling getting toxic. Yeah. I still need to make a Sukuna versus the Bleach Captains vid. I don't know why you'd need to do that, Ig. Sukuna versus who? Oh, man. Excuse me. Maybe if you... Hold on. Hold up. Maybe if you're doing Sukuna versus Soul Society captains, that might be something. But hey, it's important.
How's it going, chat?
Yeah, what's up, chat?
Noodles,
Let me say this.
426.
426. I'm on 423. So chat, real quick, if anybody donates to me, mods, go ahead and screenshot their donations. I'm not going to obviously be able to answer it during the debate, but everyone that donates, I appreciate it. Just I'll answer or I'll respond to every single donation at the end of the stream once the debate is finished. So if you guys are going to donate, feel free to, but I will answer them all at the end. All right, so this is...
How do you feel about Popeye's, chat?
Popeyes.
Disgusting.
Someone said, who is that in the clown paint?
It's Noodles, man. Hold on 1 second.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Impossible.
All right. So he already rips the souls out of them before Konohamaru even engages. So that's interesting. And then he hops down. Where is it? Man, this fight is long. Got so much stuff in it. All right. Yep, right here. Here's an instance of Konohamaru straight up just reacting to the Naraka path, dodging his kick.
Okay.
There's that one. He gets his neck grabbed right here. I'm just going to post the context of the fight.
Yeah. So can you post the scan of him reacting to a... Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah. I posted it.
Okay. So you're going to stick with, before I say this, that you think the pains are all relative in speed?
When they're all, yeah, I think the pains are pretty relative in speed.
Okay, so
this premise breeds a lot of interesting points. You guys already know how I feel about Naruto, right? Konohamaru dodging a kick is of no surprise to me. He's a named character. He doesn't have the best feats, but he is a named character. Ab-Stract holds that most named characters can fight with most named characters and pretty much do all right. The thing that's going to separate them are other things, right? But if it is the case that all the paths of pain are the same, are we saying that because he dodged a kick from this pain, that he can dodge a kick from Kakashi, or he can dodge or block an attack from Sage Mode Jiraiya? Ab-Stract, where'd you get Kakashi and Sage Mode Jiraiya from? Well, if it is the case that all the paths of pain are the same speed, and Konohamaru is dodging, I think he called this one the Naraka path, King of Hell path, and Konohamaru is dodging this pain, well, if they're all the same speed, Tendo has feats of kicking at Kakashi, and Kakashi dodged the kick. Tendo also has feats of dodging a point-blank Chidori. The other paths of pain have feats of blocking Sage Mode Jiraiya's attacks. So they can't all be the same speed. Else you'd be saying this Konohamaru is in competition with Sage Mode Jiraiya and Kakashi. That's how I would be taking it. Maybe there's another interpretation for all the same speed, though. Now, he dodges a kick. In any case, I can't let him get a hold of me. He dodges a single kick, and he gets grabbed and choked up. Now, I don't believe this would happen to Sage Mode Jiraiya or Kakashi, but if the argument is they're the same speed, then this is a problem, right? It would be a problem. But let's keep going.
Let me
Here's the
grab this
Rasengan.
fucking scan bullshit.
Yeah, where's the Rasengan? Oh.
Actually, 6, do you have the Prada scan? No, wait, I found it.
Chat. Hope you guys are doing good today, chat.
So, if you think that Konohamaru scales above, like, all the paths of pain, Konohamaru is just a monster.
When they're all 6 up, specifically.
Because here, Prada blitzes Sage Naruto.
Okay, hold up. Now the argument has changed. Hold up. Noodles says all the pains are the same speed when they're all 6 up. Okay, that changes things slightly because, well, no, it actually doesn't. It doesn't change things slightly at all because the argument is they're all the same speed. The speed is what stays consistent, but Tendo was able to perform against Kakashi and several other people and be absolutely fine. If they were all the same speed, that would mean that would either implicate Konohamaru on their speed because he's dodging a kick and, you know, they're all doing things. Or Kakashi and them speed on his
There's
speed.
like no room for skepticism here because the bottom right panel there, he's like not even there. And then he just shows up from off panel.
Okay, so firstly, the first thing I'm going to talk about is this is not all pains up.
That is
after
correct.
Multiple pains have been destroyed, so more chakra is being focused into them.
Well, I might grant that Tendo maybe gets stronger when he focuses on just Tendo, but that's only stated for the chaotic Shinra Tensei. So it's unclear if the pains actually do get stronger as more
So you're just
go
being
down.
skeptic then. So
Yeah.
if you're just going to be skeptic about it, the fact is the pains could all just like they all just have the same chakra receivers into them. He could be like, do you remember the instance where the Rasen Shuriken cuts? I think it's I can't remember which path it is, but he saves the animal path from getting cut by the expanding Rasen Shuriken. He like throws that path out the way.
Yeah.
I think he's focusing chakra into him to do that right there because the thing is, like, if they all could have just escaped right there, why didn't they? He had to focus his chakra, and also they're all using chakra receivers. So
no, they did jump out of the way of
real
the
quick, real
roster.
quick.
No, well,
So then this defeats the point that they're all the same speed, bro. If some are dodging the Rasen Shuriken that expanded, and I remember what he's talking about. I know exactly what he's talking about. Yeah. I think one of them, he threw the animal path up, but everyone else reacted. Is Noodles not contradicting his own point that they're all the same speed?
He did jump out of the way of the Rasen Shuriken, but it
one
expanded.
got cut in half. One got cut in half.
Can you show me the one getting cut in half?
Yes, I can, but real quick,
Can I see these scans,
after I do that,
please, bro?
I'm just going to state that it is logically possible for these pads to each be able to be amped differently and have more chakra focused into them, especially if less pads are available on the battlefield. So why wouldn't
Okay, you know, he's probably jumping in between when they're all up versus some of them up. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt of this.
they have more chakra? You know what I mean? But hold
Okay,
on.
so can you
real
also
quick? Let's
show
grab
that
the scan
scan real quick?
Let's get the scan real quick.
430.
Where is it? I already have it. It's okay.
I should be
Don't worry
following
about it. I have a whole server dedicated to this.
Props to him for being extremely prepared. Yeah, that's the type of stuff that I would
There's
expect.
also a data book statement that says he got vaporized by it.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
There you go. See how he's like caught in it.
Can I see? Oh, that's actually she.
Oh, she. My bad. Well, it's Nagato, right? Like,
no, I know. I'm kidding. But
Nagato,
no, so
yeah.
this is not Naruto throwing it. This is it expanding and touching.
I know. I said that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
It's not off
but
guard
they
'cause
did.
he's reacting.
Yeah, but they did jump out of the way.
He's throwing the one. Look at it.
Yeah, he's throwing the one out. But what I'm saying is they did dodge the Rasen Shuriken as the Preda path is shown blitzing it.
Okay, so firstly, they did. I understand that he reacts to
they literally all dodge.
I understand he reacts to the Rasen Shuriken. For one, I don't think the Rasen Shuriken scales to Sage Naruto in speed. I don't think that at all. Because when the 6 pads are up, Sage Naruto, or not 6 pads, yeah, it's all 6 pads. Sage Naruto straight up murder blitzes the Ashura path horrifically.
So what I would say to that is, why would Naruto throw it then?
Why would Naruto throw it? Because it's a one-shot kill move. So if he
why would Naruto throw it instead of run with it, as he's demonstrated he can do if he's
That's
faster?
dangerous.
Let me go hear that claim again.
It can damage your chakra network directly.
Because I was
No. So 6, do you have? Can I see? Oh, that's actually she.
Oh, she. My bad. Well, it's Nagato, right?
No, I know. I'm kidding. But no, so this is not Naruto throwing it. This is it expanding and touching.
I know. I said that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
It's not off guard because he's reacting.
Yeah, but they did jump out of the way.
He's throwing the one. Look at it.
Yeah, he's throwing the one out. But what I'm saying is they did dodge the Rasen Shuriken as the Preda path is shown blitzing it.
Okay, so firstly, they did. I understand that he reacts to
they literally all dodge.
I understand he reacts to the Rasen Shuriken. For one, I don't think the Rasen Shuriken scales to Sage Naruto in speed. I don't think that at all. Because
okay, he says the Rasen Shuriken doesn't scale to Sage Naruto.
for one, I don't think the Rasen Shuriken scales to Sage Naruto in speed. I don't think that at all. Because when the 6 pads are up, Sage Naruto, or not 6 pads, yeah, it's all 6 pads. Sage Naruto straight up murder blitzes the Ashura path horrifically.
So what I would say,
so he'd be saying that Naruto is faster than his own Rasen Shuriken because he was able to blitz one of the paths. What was the distance that he blitzed him at exactly?
To that is, why would Naruto throw it then?
Why would Naruto throw it? Because it's a one-shot kill move. So if
why would Naruto throw it instead of run with it, as he's demonstrated he can do if he's faster?
That's dangerous.
Why is it dangerous?
It can damage your chakra network directly.
No. So 6, do you have the scan of the body thing or whatever, where it says his body can handle the Rasen Shuriken from the data book?
Did you know you can AFK Bloods and Zaya whilst learning to code?
They doing manga for manga, data book statement for data book statement.
Even if it says that, it's probably just the creation of it. I don't think that the actual explosion he can handle.
No, it says that he nullifies all the risks or something.
Yeah. Do you think the fireball jutsu is as fast as the users?
I don't necessarily think that that's relevant here.
That's an interesting question. Depends who's using the fireball, but I would probably say it's faster.
To send the scan?
It is.
Yeah. Can you send me the scan so I can put it in the chat?
It's 100% relevant, because if the fireball's not as fast, and your logic is that, oh, why would they use it if it's not as fast?
No,
as
it's
base
not
speed?
why would Naruto use it. It's why would Naruto throw it if he could just run with it.
Well, I understand that, but at the same
Good,
time,
good clarification. Good clarification.
that can make it way more obvious.
Shoot it projectile.
What's the?
Projectile, I mean.
Is this the example? I'm pretty sure in this example where he reacts to the Ross and Shuriken, isn't that a fake one or some shit?
No, it's real.
It's real? That's the real one? Okay.
Yeah.
There was another instance where it's a fake one.
Yeah, he does do a shadow Ross and Shuriken. That's
Yeah.
when he's fighting Tendo solo.
Yeah, and it could just be the case he thinks it'll land when he throws it in that instance. You know what I mean? Like, he might think
But he
it might
throws
be
it
fast
every time, and it's the act of throwing it that drains.
but he
his
does
speed
something
progress.
different every time. So, like, when he throws it that time with the path absorbs it, right? He sees that it doesn't work, and then the next time he throws it, he expands it to catch them off guard.
No,
The
he
next time after
expands
that-
it. He expands it the time before this, because that's the one.
Oh yeah,
that,
it's the
catches
same.
them off
It's the
guard.
same logic though, because if Pain has already seen the ability, he's don't you agree that he would be able to decipher how to dodge that the next time? Like that's the whole thing.
He
with Naruto
already
characters.
dodged it the first time though. So Pain is
Wait,
demonstrated.
which is the
multiple
first
times.
time? The expanding
The
one or
first time is the expanding one. Yeah.
Okay, he didn't.
Pain
dodge that
demonstrates
time.
multiple times that he's able to
Well,
dodge
hold on,
the
but
Ross and Shuriken.
Let's
which
slow it
should
down a
scale
little
to
bit so I can
Naruto.
so we can like focus on specific points.
Sure.
Okay. So if he didn't dodge it the first time, one of the paths got destroyed. Okay, that means the next time he'll be ready for that, right? The next time.
Wait, what are you saying?
So like if he gets hit by the jutsu this time, he's not gonna get hit by the same technique again, right?
But he dodged it the first time.
Like, why? Am I just supposed to agree to that? No, that's not how it works. Naruto is extremely crafty. Number one, hyperactive, unpredictable ninja. We saw him fail to hit Kakuzu with the Rasen Shuriken because it was a dud the first time, right? You know he hits Kakuzu with the same attack that literally within the next... within the same chapter. What are we talking about? No. That doesn't automatically follow that he wouldn't get hit with it just because he saw it one time. Literally doesn't make sense. Okay. Where was I? With my girlfriend, Nice Shinigami. Sukuna probably cooking the captains. Karibo, you're as crazy as that nigga Igno. Karibo, please. She says hi and wants me to send a thank you for the birthday message. Aw, that's so nice. Tell her well received. Sukuna versus the Soul Reaper captains. Not a good idea. We just saying anything now. Exactly. It's always the opposite of what you say, Karibo LO. Sukuna has better light speed feats than all of Naruto put together. You're a professional Bleach hater. One smart. We got Meliodas 3909. Big Raga ain't gonna help bro out this time. Facts. And he's not even light speed. Oh yeah, Ab-Stract. Noodles was in full clown makeup and cosplay on his cam throughout the debate. That much I do remember. The only reason I'm not watching Noodles is because it was like kind of weird. Because he was doing the whole face reveal thing too. I was like, we'll just do sixes. I remember that though. Neo, this was in a debate, so it's kind of a false equivalence to use. Also, I was just shutting down someone who thought I was talking to them when they didn't say they disliked debating and they agreed to. Patrick Jane is smarter than Kakashi. He said it was his mom. Shout out to his mom for actually being supportive. LOL. That's dope. Noodles ain't escaping the rat allegations. Listen, keep it like that, Ab-Stract. Sage Dryer, I'm fine with that. Naruto verse is one of the weakest verses I've seen in a super energy manga. Yeah. Maybe I can make the case the Narutoverse would lose to Kevin from Home Alone with prep time. Nah, that's crazy. I don't hate the Bleach captains, and I'm not a big fan of Sukuna. I said probably. Yeah, see, you even saying probably is just, like, ridiculous. Stuff like that happens almost all the time in any kind of discussion. Bleach is simply the slowest of the big three. That's still disgusting to say, one smart. I know it gets heated really fast, especially nowadays. Yep. You're just being skeptic is such a self-report. Yeah. Dude, just admit you don't like Bleach. Karibo, you haven't given a valid reason on for why Bleach isn't FTL. If they could, why didn't they? Argument from ignorance. I still remember our conversation. There's no valid reason to claim Bleach is FTL. Truth Nuke One Smart. There's more than Naruto. Haven't given a reason why Bleach is just planet. Naruto has no FTL feats and statements. Oof. You're now entering the worm zone. Worm arguments incoming. You're talking about some hacks range because that's being very generous if you are saying it to AP, says Karibo. John the Maven says, prepare for an hour of bickering over the speed of the Rasen Shuriken. Really? Naruto actually has light speed statements and feats, and of the confirmed light speed being surpassed, says Karibo. It doesn't, says Shinigami. Ursa says, Karibo, you are a dishonest broker. I've been saying this since the last stream. He's a dishonest broker. Excuse me. John Maven says, disagree with the light speed thing, but you probably already know that, lol. Illusion says, Karibo being a professional Bleach hater, color me surprised. Oh yeah, nah, definitely. That's his bread and butter right there. Okay, let's keep going. We got about 7 more minutes, and I gotta wake up the wife to go view these apartments.
That's what I'm saying.
You said
like
the expansive.
You
said the expansive Rasen Shuriken is him dodging it.
Yeah, so he dodges it, and then Naruto expands it to hit one of the pains, but the pains did dodge it in the first place.
I understand that. I'm not saying that he's dodging the initial, or I'm not saying that he's not dodging the initial Rasen Shuriken. What I'm saying is he's not dodging the expansion of it.
So what does this have to do with the fact that the Preda runs in from like off panel, like and just like turbo blitzes the Rasen Shuriken here?
Well,
like, Naruto
we haven't even finished this point, so I don't want to move on from to a new point yet. So we'll finish this point first. Do you agree?
No, this is the same point. Like, I'm saying that Naruto got blitzed, and I'm just like, what does the fact that he already saw it have to do with the fact that this is
I don't think it's Naruto himself getting blitzed. I think it's his Rasen Shuriken getting reacted to.
No, Naruto gets an exclamation point above his head after the Preda runs into it. Right, it indicates surprise. He didn't even see it before the Rasen Shuriken got absorbed.
What makes you say that? Are you just assuming
because of the exclamation point? He's like,
that's just a vague indication of surprise. If a rat fell on my head, I would have an exclamation point.
No, Naruto doesn't even recognize that it's Preda until the panel after it starts getting absorbed.
He could be surprised that he's absorbing it. Like, he could be surprised that, literally, I can name any aspect of
this he's not surprised that he's absorbing it.
Noodles has the stronger argument right here. So you can't argue arbitraries when there's no corroborating evidence, Swag. That's the only thing, bro. Like, if you, like, I talk about pyramiding inferences a lot. Find true things or find things that can lead to something actually being true, not subjective things. Things that can actually go into the thing you're making the case for why it's true as to why it's actually true. Swagkage is 100% correct here. Naruto could have been surprised at any number of reasons, including the fact that he was fast enough to absorb it in the first place.
Because he knows that pain is the one that absorbs Jutsu.
So what are you just assuming what he's surprised at?
What do you mean? No, I think it's okay. It's extremely clear that he's supposed to be like, wait, what the fuck? Where'd he come from? Because Naruto thought that he took the Preda out. He's surprised that Preda is even there in the first place because he thought it was dead. So the fact that he couldn't even sense it before with Sage Mode and then it showed up and absorbed his attack means that he got perception blitzed.
No, that.
All right, that was the probably craziest assertion I've ever heard Swag say during this whole debate. So he kind of just talked himself into a hole, though. So I'm assuming this is when Naruto already used Frog Kumite on the Preda Path, and so he thought he was down. So the Preda Path getting up, going over and absorbing his attack would be a big surprise to Naruto. To someone who thought he was, would be a big surprise to Naruto. Someone who thought that pain of path was already down, right? Perception Blitz, I have no idea where that came from. That was kind of wild.
That's not what that means. So if he's surprised that one's dead or that one came back to life, that means he didn't sense it. You're right. But just because he has Sage Mode doesn't mean he has this omniscience where he's focusing on all of his senses at the same time. That's not how sensing works. Like, this is the same argument as like, Sakura scales the kage.
Thank you. Goddamn, 6, do your job. Put the goddamn panels up. All right. So he gets in front of the attack and starts absorbing it. Naruto surprised. He could be surprised for any number of reasons, like Swagkage said. He could be surprised because Tendo didn't get hit. He could be surprised because he's now up and absorbing that attack again. He could be surprised that he did, in fact, intercept the Rasen Shuriken. Like, oh, isn't that... I'm sorry, hold up. Why are we debating this? It's literally on panel why he's surprised. What the... Hold up, bro. Now I'm getting mad. Now I'm getting mad. Why are we debating this? Look at this. Look at this. Hold up. Let me go down. Look at this. They're telling us why he's surprised. Literally. Naruto's surprised. He's absorbing. Isn't that question mark and surprise? He's knocked out. What are we debating? What are we debating right now? It's very clear why he's surprised.
Yeah, because she.
But still, ultimately, this would go to Noodles' point because he has the stronger argument for this.
Because she punched her and she has Sage Mode. It's that
That's
same
not the
type of
same thing at
argumentation.
all.
She has Sage Mode, so does Sakura scale the Kage in speed?
No, this is a completely irrelevant argument.
Ab-Stract brought that up.
Okay, if
Ab-Stract brought that up.
Yeah, how would that help you?
I mean, I would say that you're wrong, so I would argue with you on that. That's what I would say. But do you want to go down that path? Do you want to?
I really don't want to go through the Sakura gauntlet again, bro. Don't do this to me.
Well, listen, I'll put it to you this way, right? So something can be inside your vision, and you simply don't focus on it, and it can catch you off guard. So just give you an instance, the deer in headlights effect.
This is Sage Naruto.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? It's Sage Naruto.
Kage was too focused on DMS Kakashi and Sage of Six Pads Naruto and Sasuke to react to Sakura. She was completely focused on them. So because there's greater threats there, her focus is on them. Like, you ever play Call of
At least Noodles isn't one of those guys that believes Sakura scales the Kage. Sakura scales the Kage. At least I can say that. At least he has that.
Duty. I know this is really really.
Of course, I play Call of Duty.
Do you know the 6th Sense perk?
Yeah.
So you know how, like, it'll show you on the mini map a general idea of what direction they're coming from, right?
Yes.
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where.
So that in a way is a 6th sense, just like Sage Mode. But if you don't look at your mini map and you don't focus on that 6th sense, right? If you don't focus on what direction, it won't help you. You can still get caught off guard.
I think you're making a lot of assumptions here, dog, to like just hand wave
that's
the
just
fact
how
that
focus
Naruto
works.
was clearly blitzed here. Like, Naruto didn't even know he got up, and he was able to, like, granted, I will admit that when he did this, he was like locked in, but he sensed the entire battlefield at once. And here he's like fighting the paths of pain, so you would think that he would be able to sense them.
He sensed the battlefield
right?
before he even started fighting, though.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, like here?
Like when you're talking about, like, when he's like, oh, I don't sense Kakashi's chakra Tsunade. That's what the statement you're referencing.
Yeah, so Pain got up so fast that he wasn't even able to tell, and then he ran in front of the Rasen Shuriken and
that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about when he sensed the entire
No, I know what you're talking about, but I'm saying, so Naruto demonstrated these extrasensory abilities, and then...
But yeah, he was...
Naruto also only demonstrated high sensing when he has time to actually focus. How about this? Didn't Naruto get stabbed with those rods? Didn't he get stabbed with those rods? Now, I'd have to check to see if he was in... No, he wasn't in Sage Mode when he got stabbed with the rods. So that point might not work. But Naruto has to stab himself and then actually trace the chakra back. He's not just sensing, kind of like how Noodle said, he's not just sensing omnisciently everything within a certain... No, that's not what's happening. He has to focus on certain things, and when danger comes at him, he can start sensing that probably more relatively faster, like we've seen with the Raikage. But if it's someone he thought he already knocked out and he's focused on eliminating this pain, he's not going to be ready for him to get up and start absorbing. And again, isn't that... So it shows us why he's exactly surprised, because he thought he knocked this guy out. Not that he was able to get in front of it or blitz the Rasen Shuriken. They all dodged it, by the way, so no. And again, this also depends on distance. How far away was he when he got knocked out versus how far the Rasen had to travel to get to him?
Wasn't focused on fighting yet.
What?
Like, of course he's not going to be focused on fighting the path he thought he already killed.
There you go.
He's going to be focused on Tendo trying to hit him.
There you
so
go.
it easily could catch him off guard, and there's no proof that he was focusing on him. So Sage Mode doesn't give you like omniscience. It just doesn't.
I never said that it gives you omniscience, but the fact that he... Okay, so first of all, again, Naruto is in Sage Mode here, and Sage Mode does give you a sensory boost. Naruto is focused on fighting pain, which consists of 6 bodies, and
Tendo.
he did not notice at all that Prada got up.
Well,
and
that's true. He was focused on Tendo, though.
then Prada ran in front of an attack that should be as fast as or faster than him and absorbed it from off panel when he was not in sight at all before that. That is a blitz.
Well,
you cannot tell me a character that did that is as fast as Konohamaru.
I don't think it's a blitz at all.
It's absolutely not a blitz. What it is it's an in context. So you could, if you wanted to call it an outlier, I'd even be fine with that. But to say that's a blitz would also intimate that the absorption path can just run up on Naruto and just absorb his chakra whenever he wants to. That's what that would also intimate. But hey, all right, guys, this was part 1 of Noodles versus Swagkage. If you're just watching this on the playback, please like the stream, share the video. If you're in here right now, we got to get those likes up. All right, there's 16 people in here. There's 14 likes. I need about 5 more likes from all you guys. Share the stream, hype the video, like the video. This was part 1. We got 30 minutes. Damn, this might be like an 8-part things if this was only part 1. Because if I pause it this many times in 30 minutes, I can only imagine the 4 hours. So this might be an 8-part thing. Depends on how it goes though. But yeah, either next one will either be going over this again or doing some reading of Boruto. But it was nice hanging out with you guys. I'm gonna go look at some apartments with my wife, not fiance, my wife. And yeah, you guys take it easy. Still working on the Kimimaro video. My other editor hasn't gotten back to me about the One Piece versus Bleach video, but you know that's still in the works technically. And yeah. So ladies and gents, take it